A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Follow the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development on Instagram and X at LocalGovJA. The time by the ministry is...
It's 3 minutes after 9.
You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning to you. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, March 26, 2024. We are alive and well, and for that we give God thanks. We are outside this morning. We are all the way in Mo Bay. We're in Montego Bay, and we're here at the Charles Gordon Market for the NSWMA's sanitization program for the vendors. Of course, at 10 o'clock, you'll hear much more about the program, but we are here, and you will hear and see what exactly is happening much later on. But we're still inside the Consumer Hour for now. Good morning to you if you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9. Thank you so much for joining us on your radio. Those watching and listening on YouTube, good morning to you. I'm seeing Tony Bailey. Good morning, Tony. Errol Townsend is there. Marvelous Marvin, all the others over there on YouTube. Good morning to you. Remember, the channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live. That's where we are on YouTube. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Click the subscribe button and click the notification bell as well so that you can be notified whenever we go live or whenever we post a video. If you are listening and watching on that's the YouTube channel. If you're listening from our mobile app, which is available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store. Good morning to you, and those on our website, the Listen Now option there. Good morning to you as well. All right, so inside the Consumer Hour this morning, it's something that we're following up on. Quite a few of you would remember we had a caller last week who was trying to find out more about an aspect of Dr. Clark's presentation, his opening budget presentation, where he announced an increase in the age relief exemption threshold for pensioners. He said that pensioners aged 65 years and older will now enjoy a total income tax threshold of $1.5 million plus the $250,000, and the threshold for those aged 55 and over will be $1.75 million. And the gentleman who called was really asking, what does this mean for me? And so to help us to understand more about what Dr. Clark announced, we have a chair of the Pension Industry Association of Jamaica, PIJ's Public Education Committee, Miss Alicia Ganes. Good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Is she on with us? Okay, not hearing from the phone lines there. Let's see if we can sort that out. But if you have any questions as it relates to the threshold as announced by Minister Clark, then you can also leave your questions. Maybe we can take a few calls. She would only be with us for a couple of minutes, but maybe we can. All right. So she's on. Okay, she's on. All right. So good morning to you.
Good morning, Nora.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm okay, thank you. Are you hearing me okay?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. All right. So the caller last week was really asking this announcement, what does it mean
Mean
for
for
me?
them.
Right. But before we go there, what is the threshold? What does the threshold mean?
Okay. Okay. So the 2 weeks ago, the minister announced that the pensioners' threshold would be increased.
Right.
So what is the pension threshold? There are three components of this. So the income tax threshold, which is currently 1.5 million, that's increasing to 1.7 million effective April 1. The second component that would be applicable to the pensioners would be the pensioner exemption, which applies to pensioners and is currently $80,000 per annum, and that's going to increase to $250,000. The third component is called the age relief exemption. So this applies to pensioners who are over the age of 65 years, and again, that's currently $80,000 and would be increasing to $250,000 per annum.
Right.
So in total, if you are 55 years and older, your pension threshold would be increasing to the sum of 1.7 million plus 250,000 or 1.95 million, sorry. And that would have been increasing from 1.58 million. If you are over age 65, you have a further top up to that of 250,000. So your total pension threshold would become 2.2 million, increasing from $1.66 million. And so what the pension threshold is, any income that you earn over these amounts would be taxed.
And when you say income, income from?
Okay, so the pension total. So if you are over age 65, actually, if you're over age 55, it's your total income. So if you are still working and you receive income from other sources, it's
Right.
that income plus the pension income. Plus income that you would have received, that you are receiving from any superannuation plans or retirement schemes or any pension arrangement, including the public sector, any public sector pensions.
Right. So those pensioners who are only receiving pension through the NIS, does this
Right.
affect them in any way?
So if they are receiving only NIS pensions, their pension is probably not, it's probably not going to exceed the exemption. It's not going to exceed the threshold.
The threshold,
Sorry. It's not
right.
going to exceed the threshold. So anybody who has a pension actually under 1.5 million or the existing, let's use the existing threshold. If anybody has a pension that's less than the existing threshold, there would be no change to their income.
Okay, understood. Now, the gentleman who called last week was asking about taxes, and he was saying, I don't pay taxes on my pension. There's taxes. Why am I paying taxes? Do pensioners pay taxes, and why are they paying taxes?
Okay, so that's a good question. Yes, pensioners pay taxes. Pensioners who are above the threshold pay taxes. The reason why pensioners pay taxes is because during your contributory years, so during the time that you were employed and saving towards your pension plan, your contributions to those pension plans would have been tax deferred. So any contributions that you would have made to a pension plan would have been pre-tax. So tax would not have been taken out, right? During the accumulation phase, returns on the investments that your pension contributions were invested in were also not taxed. So those were also exempt.
Right.
When you retire, the tax is taken out at retirement only when it's over the threshold. So a few if someone is not seeing tax taken out from their pension, because the administrators, if you're in a pension plan and you're receiving a pension from the plan administrator, what the plan administrator would do is to tax that income before they send it to the pensioner, unless the pensioner provides the administrator with the tax exemption certificate, which they are encouraged to do. So they're encouraged to, when they retire, go to tax admin, apply to the tax admin for the tax exemption certificate, and then they provide that to the administrator so that the administrator can apply the applicable threshold to the pension that is being paid out.
All right, so we are up on a commercial break. Now that we've explained the threshold, the taxes, after we come back from the break, I want to find out from you what this means for pensioners. Will they be getting more money? So after the break, we come back with that question.
Easter's a time for family, fun, and celebration. And at Chris and Charles, we believe that no bunny compares to you. Whether you're planning to party or going on vacation, Chris and Charles has low competitive rates and no guarantor up to $2 million. Why wait? Call 876-920-4189 or WhatsApp 876-838-9028 for loan options. Conditions apply. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
Public sector workers, are you ready? Registration is now open for the exciting public sector debate competition. Gather your teams and register by March 29. Visit publicsectortransformation.gov.jm for registration details or speak to your HR department. The competition is organized by the Transformation Implementation Unit, building a better public sector for all.
Bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Give me yummy, bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Give me yummy. Don't stop at just a one slice, please. No other bun, perfect for me. Yummy. For real Jamaican flavor and quality for sure this Easter. Make yummy the bun to your cheese. Yummy. Give me yummy, yummy. Give me yummy. For the Easter, yummy bun zeta. Yummy for me family, yummy for me sir. Bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Yummy. Bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Best bun. Give me yummy.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. We're outside this morning. We're at the Charles Gordon Market in Montego Bay, and we're here for the NSWMA's sanitization program for the vendors. Of course, later on you'll hear much more about that. But in the meantime, here inside the Consumer Hour, we're trying to get some explanations for you as it relates to the pensioners and the income tax, the movement of the income tax threshold that was announced by the Finance Minister, Dr. Clark. And to help us understand, we have Chair of the Pension Industry Association of Jamaica's Public Education Committee, Miss Alicia Ganes. I see someone in YouTube saying that they're not understanding. Just let me know what exactly it is that you're not understanding, what aspect of the explanation that you're not understanding, and we'll have Miss Ganes just go over it for you so that you may be better able to understand. So, before the break, I was asking you, Ms. Ganes, if it means then that pensioners will be receiving any more money.
Right. So again, it depends on what the pensioner's income is currently.
Right.
So the thresholds are increasing. So if the pension income is less than the existing threshold, they will not receive any more money because currently they would not be taxed anyway, right? Because they're
Right.
under the threshold. If they are under age 65 and their income is over the first threshold, which I'm calling the 1.5 million income tax threshold plus the pensioner threshold of 80,000, so that's the existing 1.58, then they stand to receive an additional annual income of up to, so the maximum amount that they could get is $92,000 annually or $7,700 per month. But that
Right.
is if they, that's if their pension was over the new threshold that applies to them, which is 1.95, right?
All right. So
if
let's
they're-
let's go over it slowly
Go
again.
over slowly. Okay. So if the pensioner's total income, remember it's total income because you receive. Pensioners also can have sources of income from things like rental property. They may
Right.
do some consulting jobs. So they receive income from different sources outside of their pension, right? So if their total income is over the existing threshold, which is for the pensioner, which is 1.58 million,
Right.
then they stand to receive a maximum additional amount of $92,000 annually.
All right. So that means if you are a pensioner over 65 and
This
over,
is so that amount that I gave you there was for the ones who are under 65. The over 65
Okay.
is an additional amount on top of that.
all right. So if you are under 65 and your total pension and income for the
Income.
entire year
Yeah.
is 1.58
Over. Is
and
more
over.
than 1.5, right?
over 1.58. So your pension, if you have a rent house, if you do some consultation and all of that income for you for the entire year is
Correct.
over 1.58 million,
Yes.
it means then that you will now receive, go ahead,
You could receive
could receive,
up to $92,000 annually. So you would actually get that amount if your total income is over 1.95 million. So if your income is over 1.95 million, then you would get an additional $92,000 annually.
and that's for those
Who are
under,
under age 65. Exactly.
Okay. All
And
right.
the ones who are over age 65, they could receive an additional $135,000 annually, which works out to about $11,000 per month. And they will get that additional amount if their total income exceeds 2.2 million.
2.2.
2 million.
And so, if you fall below that threshold, your income does not go up to 2.2 if you are
Right.
65 and older, then this does not apply to you at all.
No, you would be getting an additional amount. You're just not going to get the maximum of 135,000.
Right. So if you fall below the 2.2, what happens for you?
So it's going to be so. For example, if your income is $2 million
Right.
and you are over age 65, if you're over age 65, you would now be receiving tax. You would now be receiving an additional amount of the tax that would have been paid on the 2 million in excess of the 1.66 million, because you would have been paying tax. Currently, you would be paying tax on income over 1.66 million, right? If you're over 65,
Right.
And if your income is $2 million, you would be paying tax on $2 million less 1.66. So you'd be paying tax on $340,000.
Right.
Okay? But now you won't have to pay tax on that $340,000. So you would be getting approximately $85,000 additionally per annum.
And you wouldn't be paying tax because the threshold has moved.
Has moved, exactly.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be paying tax at all because you are below the threshold.
So, okay. So if you, so the threshold before was, let's get it straight again. The threshold before.
So under age 65, the threshold was 1.5 million plus $80,000.
That's
And if you were over,
1.58.
that's 1.58 million. And if you were over age 65, you got an additional $80,000 on that. So it is 1.66 million. Now the threshold is moving from the 1.58 million to 1.7 plus the 250, which is 1.95 million. So 1.58 is moving to 1.95. And the 1.66 for the over 65 is now moving to 2.2.
All right. So let me see if I can explain it then. So before the announcement, those who received pension and income amounting to 1.58 million, if you are under 65 and you're receiving pension 1.58 million, up to 1.58 million, then you were paying taxes on that, on an amount of that. Over that, right? Over that, you were paying taxes.
Tax over that, yeah.
But now that amount has moved to 1.95.
Yes.
And so, if your income and pension is the 1.58 still, is 1.58 basically. Or anything below the 1.95,
no tax.
then you pay no taxes.
Correct.
And so that would mean a little extra for those who fall within that bracket.
Correct.
Good.
Correct.
And if you are over 65,
yeah,
and you received pension of 1.66 and over, then you were paying taxes.
Right.
But that amount has moved to 2.2. For those over 65. And so if you fall below the 2.2 threshold, then you don't pay any taxes on your pension and income.
Correct.
Okay, good. So essentially then, it means anybody earning income and pension below, if you're under 65, if you're earning pension and income below 1.95, then you will get a little extra money if you were paying taxes before.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're over 65 and you were paying taxes before on your pension and income,
you'd also get.
You will also get if your income now falls below the 2.2.
2.2, correct.
Okay.
You said it
good.
so wonderfully. Thank you.
All right. So that clears that up. And I hope it is clearer for all those who were unsure about what it means. Is there anything else that you think we left out, Ms. Ganes, that you think we need to have the pensioners know before we go to the break?
No, I think that's it. Just for persons who are about to retire and who would not have yet, or existing pensioners who have not had that tax exemption certificate from the TAJ, just go get it, because you could actually be paying tax when you may not need to, because the administrators, if they don't have that tax that exemption certificate, they would automatically take out tax.
Okay, and the exemption certificate is where do you get that?
From the TAJ. You have to go to the tax admin department to apply for it.
Okay. All right then. So that should clear up things. If you have any further questions, please state them now. because Miss Ganes has to leave us, but that should clear things up. So if you missed it, you can go back to our YouTube channel and just bring it back to the beginning of the interview. Listen carefully, and I'm sure you should be able to get the explanation given. Thank you so much, Ms. Ganes, for joining us and explaining. And you do have a good day.
All right, take care. Thank you.
All right, that was the chairperson of the Pension Industry Association of Jamaica's Public Education Committee, Alicia Ganes, just explaining there what the threshold increase for pensioners would mean for those who are receiving pension, those over 65, those under 65 who are receiving pension and other income in their years of retirement. Before we go, just to let you know that when we come back from the break, we'll be taking your calls. If you have any consumer-related matters, any other issues that you want to bring to the fore, you can give us a call. The numbers to call 876-630-9371-4 or 618-8255. Those are the numbers to call. We take a break and come back with more.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:30.
Discover the flavor of Jamaica with the Coconut Industry Board. They offer a variety of coconut products, from coconut water and coconut oil to coconut drops, gizadas, and other flavorful coconut items. Whether you're a farmer, producer, or consumer, the Coconut Industry Board is home to all coconut products. Visit them at 18 Waterloo Road, Kingston, or call 876-926-1770 for more details.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Chakama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy electrodes, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Easter Sunday, March 31st. It's St. Mary Kite and Food Fest! Easter Sunday at Buccaneers Jerk and Juice, Port Maria, St. Mary, with a live performance by Najiri, Joshy, Pablo YJ, Hot Dad, T-Bone, Enhance, Puffy V, Kevin Downswell, Cockeye Flames, Anunnaki, and Raja Wild. Pre-sold 2,500, 3,000 at the gate, and VIP 5,000. Kids, you ride free! It's St. Mary Kite and Food Fest, Easter Sunday, March 31st. No weapons allowed.
Importers, the Jamaica Customs Agency is revolutionizing your clearance experience as our contactless clearance process becomes mandatory on April 2, 2024. This process will facilitate the clearance of all non-commercial personal shipments at our seaports with a CIF value of less than $5,000 being inspected by customs without you or your agent present. You're encouraged to make your payments using our customs mobile app, JA Customs Connect. Fees payable to your shipping agent and warehouse operator remain applicable. For further information, contact your freight forwarder or email contactlessclearance@jca.gov.jm or call 876-922-5140-8. The JCA's contactless clearance process is convenient, efficient, and secure. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
There's a new gym on the block. Listen up, Portmore. Express Fitness is coming to the Big Buy Plaza. Get ready to sweat at our brand new location. And here's the best part. To celebrate, we're offering an unbeatable deal of only $1,000 for the first month. That's right. For only $1,000, you'll have access to state-of-the-art equipment and a community that's all about reaching your fitness goals. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Head down to Express Fitness at Big Buy Plaza in Portmore, where your journey to a better you begins.
Good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. We are taking your calls this morning. The numbers to call 876-630-9371-4 or 618-8255. Someone in the YouTube chat, firstly, I saw a birthday. I can't believe I lost it. Let me see if I can find it back quickly. Someone was saying it's their birthday today, and I wanted to say happy birthday, but I seem to have lost it. But if I don't find it quickly, I will just say happy birthday to the person in the YouTube chat who was saying it's their birthday. Jean Sellers. Happy birthday to you, Jean. I hope you have an amazing day. And thank you for being with us on your birthday. And also, someone else was asking if there is an increase for NIS pension. And no, there was no increase announced as it relates to NIS pension right now. So that is that. We have a caller on the line. Richie, good morning.
My name is Enos.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too good. If a person feel a pain and then I bad, that pain is not serious. Me a bad because my pain is very serious now. I'm complaining about flow. Remember one last week, last week I was holding for talk with Daddy Hughes and the call drop.
Yes.
When I looked, it said no network service. I went through last week. The service was very, very bad. And even until now, for months it's bad. So many people keep calling me and tell me, I can't get you, and I keep calling people and can't get them. Even this man I call Papa Nana. Papa Nana said, Richie, warm to your phone at 12 times. I call this man and can't get you, I'm doing something for him which I supposed to report to him. And that's what he was calling about. He just couldn't get me. And it's not him alone. Everybody keeps saying the same thing. They call you from when I not get you in a answer phone and I call people and I get them. It's not a one-day thing, Nara.
You're not seeing, what is it that your phone is not ringing and then you're seeing a missed call?
All right. Even last week, I have a doctor. You see the doctor come on the program on Friday night and Tuesday night? Her friend is one of my doctors. It's my doctor. And she sent a message to me from her one night. And it's coming after 11. And I text her.
Send a message where? Like on WhatsApp or?
On WhatsApp message. After 11 for me. And I text her and say, why you not sleeping now? And when we talk with her, so then I send the text to you from her to 10. Some people send me to me, they don't come in at all.
You're getting low, Richie. I'm not hearing you clearly.
I said people sending messages to me and they don't come in at all.
Right. And so you're saying if it's WhatsApp, then it's not necessarily it might not be a network issue, but an internet issue.
But whatever.
Right.
Sometimes
no, but it's two different things, Richie. Hold on.
No, it's two different things. I'm complaining about two different things.
Right. So you're complaining about you're not receiving calls and your WhatsApp. So is anything else that you use your phone?
Follow me. Just follow me. I don't use the phone for nothing more than call on it and whatever, or whatever, nothing more. I send to you sometime I call on WhatsApp and it just keeps reconnecting and drop the call. That is one.
Right.
Sometimes people sending messages to me and they don't come in at all. None at all. Sometimes a person send a message and it's just coming like it's a text. And when I read it, it's a call. The local calls, I've been even like the internet credit. I pay for 20 service every month. I don't make my service on my phone with a service. And for months I don't get a call and international call. I'm just not getting no good service, none at all. One of the things that Papa Nana said to me this morning, we hear that, what's his name again? Technology Minister. They were supposed to get the next technology service from January. What's going on about it? This service is very, very bad now. I'm going to tell you something. At one point, I called my phone technician and I complained to him. He said, something, phone network is overload because they're giving people new in the number, code number, and I prove it. And the lady wants a call and she sees the signal when it's service on my phone and I give her a phone. And she make the call. And it's a new number you really use. So system is overload and that is the problem. We need another technology service in Jamaica, Nara. We need it. We can't take them up because I'm not going to back to the digital because that time the digital is even worse than flow. You understand what I'm saying? Nara, you see phone of voice, big. Nobody now this, you are like come here and now listen to me, but if you open your mouth, and just talk, you hear something different same time, you're big enough. You do something to it, yeah?
Right, but Richie, I'm trying to find out from you because I have a flow phone as well, and I don't have that issue. So what I'm trying to find out from you is if you are using Wi-Fi when you are on, or are you using data on your phone?
Nothing like that. You know something?
What do you mean nothing?
I just use my phone to make calls now and send messages and things like those.
Right, but you're saying your WhatsApp is not connecting, Richie. So I'm trying to find out from you, how are you connecting to WhatsApp? Do you have Wi-Fi at home? You have a modem, a Wi-Fi box?
I have nothing.
Right, so you have data on your phone.
Data?
Mobile data on your phone. That's how you use the internet on your phone.
Yes.
Right. And is it the WhatsApp alone that is not working when you try to go on other things, YouTube? What else you use your phone to do?
I don't normally go on YouTube, Nara.
So it's just WhatsApp you use the phone for?
I should call. You know something? Papa Nana called me one day last week, and Harry called me one day and said, Richie, Papa Nana sent call and not getting you. And I called him and get him. Papa Nana said, Richie, I called him from when I can't get you. And I called so many people to call you. And everybody call you and don't get you, I'm going to make a public announcement that people know that you live alone and something wrong with you. That's how serious it is, I don't use nothing. I don't go on YouTube. Sometimes I be talking to you and I skip on YouTube and I stop it. I don't go on YouTube.
All right.
I only use my message. I only use my phone to call people. You know something? There's this lady, I'm from Woodabba, in Florida. And this lady, this is one of my patients and lady left from 3 months ago. And so I'm going to call her when I reach back home. She called, it's like she was in the town, in the Woodabba town. And the lady just walk up beside me. So from when I call them, I can't get you. I'm going home and I want some more product. I called them from last night and tell them I can't get her.
All right. So, Richie, it sounds as if there's an issue with the network connection on your phone.
But the point is, the point is, it's not my phone alone. Other people keep saying the same thing.
Right, but for Flo to fix the issue, they'd have to look at your phone though, because why I'm saying this, Richie, because it's not as if there's a network connection down in your area where I can say to Flo, you need to go to Black River or you need to go here because the connection is not working here. It's your personal device. It's your personal.
It could be a here.
No, it's.
It could be a here. No, I'm going to tell you something. I have so many people that are calling and I can't get them and they call me. One of them is in Portmore. The lady, I can't get on and like somebody whenever I want her, I have to ask somebody else to call her. So I don't know what is the problem, but what I can tell you though, so network is overloaded because they're giving other customers new code number.
All right. So Flo, some of your customers are having a challenge with the network connection. They're not receiving their calls. They're not getting the WhatsApp messages. So if you can look at it, Flo, please, I beg you.
But no, that is not my only problem. We need another telecommunication service in Jamaica.
Right, but we can't fix that immediately. Richie, that is not up to us. But so we have to wait until whatever is being worked out with the ministry and that new telecoms company to come through. We can't do anything about that process to come through right now.
I know,
yeah.
But we are.
Yeah, man, definitely. And I agree with you. Flo and Digicel need some competition. All right, yeah, man, take care. Before I go to the break, received a complaint last week about St. Joseph's Hospital. Now, the person is trying to get through to St. Joseph's Hospital to find out about the eye care program. And St. Joseph's Hospital has quite a few numbers listed online, and not one is working. They also have an email, patientcare@sarah.gov.jm. We send an email to that and it bounced. St. Joseph's Hospital, those at the Ministry of Health, Sarah, anybody who is responsible for St. Joseph's Hospital and admin work and communication at St. Joseph's Hospital, people are trying to call you, but they can't get you because your numbers aren't working. This is a hospital. Your numbers aren't working. St. Joseph's Hospital, your numbers are not working. And I don't think we have to go all the way up to Sarah, which is the Southeast Regional Health Authority, to find out why we can't get through to St. Joseph's Hospital. So if there's anybody from St. Joseph's Hospital who is listening, or anybody there and they're hearing us, please let them know that they can reach out to us and give us the actual working numbers so that we can tell the people. Because the numbers listed, they're not working. And somebody is very interested in the eye care program at St. Joseph's, but they can't get through to you. So, St. Joseph's Hospital, we're trying to get to you. If you can reach out to us and let us know which of your numbers actually work, we would greatly appreciate that. Gonna take a break. When we come back, we take more of your calls.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:46.
Pamper your senses at Bodyscape at its newest spa and grooming club located at 34A Mannings Hill Road in Kingston. Their Kingston branch is offering a special on pedicures with gel polish for only $2,500 until April 30. You don't want to miss this deal. They also offer facials, massages, manicures, and waxing services. Call 876-627-9454 or message them on Instagram at BodyscapeJA. Conditions apply. Experience a world of pampering at Bodyscape, now in Kingston, Jamaica.
Importers, the Jamaica Customs Agency is revolutionizing your clearance experience as our contactless clearance process becomes mandatory on April 2, 2024. This process will facilitate the clearance of all non-commercial personal shipments at our seaports with a CIF value of less than $5,000 being inspected by customs without you or your agent present. You're encouraged to make your payments using our customs mobile app, JA Customs Connect. Fees payable to your shipping agent and warehouse operator remain applicable. For further information, contact your freight forwarder or email contactlessclearance@jca.gov.jm or call 876-922-5140-8. The JCA's contactless clearance process is convenient, efficient, and secure. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Give me yummy, bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Give me yummy, don't stop at just a one slice, please. No other bun, perfect for me. Yummy, for real Jamaican flavor and quality for sure. This Easter, make yummy the bun to your cheese. Yummy, give me yummy, yummy, give me yummy. For the Easter, yummy bunzita, yummy for me family, yummy for me sir. Bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese, yummy, bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Best bun, give me yummy.
Real estate dealers and salesmen, this year's licensing period is almost here. Skip the hassle and take advantage of the Real Estate Board's new direct online client portal payment platform. Go to our client portal and create an account to get started. Whether you're paying license fees, penalties, or continuing professional development courses, Status notifications give you the peace of mind that your payments were successful, and emails with meeting links for your courses. Use the Real Estate Board's new client portal payment platform. Get on with the business of turning houses into homes.
Good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. We are taking your calls for the remainder of the Consumer Hour this morning. Just to let you know that we're outside this morning. We are on the western end of the island. We're in Montego Bay. We are at the Charles Gordon Market, and the NSWMA is having a sanitization program for the vendors here, and of course later on you'll hear much more about that when Cliff Hughes Online begins. But that's what we're here for. We're taking your calls though for the remainder of the Consumer Hour. I believe Herbert is on the line. Good morning, Herbert.
Good morning, Noah. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Not good. I'm calling.
You're not good.
I'm calling on behalf of the poorest of the poor.
The poorest of the poor.
Yeah. Everybody is smiling about the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance and how they feel about the budget. But the NIS pensioners have not been offered nothing.
No, Herbert, not do that. Hold on, Herbert. Don't you remember that it was last year that the pensioners got a raise? You don't remember that? That it was in the last budget presentation that every year them forget raise?
Listen to me now. Yes, they
you
got
have to do a little here, and a little there,
Yes, they got
for
a raise.
Everybody. But so the pensioner them get a raise last month. They moved the threshold for the other pensioners who are pay a little more this year. What do you really think? Only think as a run country go? Everybody just give it.
No, but they're always the poorest of the poor and get the least of all the pensions.
Yeah. No, don't do that. So you would have wanted to see another increase this year.
Everything by 10%. Something to
wait, say every year.
From the bottom of the scale.
Every year.
If possible. I don't think the NIS pensioners are on.
No, sir. Yes, but they reached them last year. That's my point.
Remember their pension is just a sniping like.
Right, and they increased that last year.
Well,
but you would have been happy with another increase this year.
Something to bring it up as best as it can come up. It will never come up.
Yeah, but the only thing that can bring it up is an increase.
Yes.
So why are you saying something as if it's not an increase you're asking for?
Yes, something like any small increase, because it's at the bottom of the scale. And remember,
I hear
people. Most of these people, when they used to work in the old no form of pension scheme for them to join, just so that they can get another pension. A lot of these people don't know there was no pension scheme for them at that time. So all they're depending on, listen, you have some pensioners that is getting both NIS pension and another pension because they were able to join pension scheme. Most of these people, there was no pension scheme for them to join, and their salary could not have carried an additional pension. So
right, so you're saying another increase would be good?
Yes, for the majority of them out here.
Boy, I hear you in a Herbert, but I'm saying it went up last year, so maybe give them a little gap year and then next year again.
Well, I think the NIS
you don't think so?
I think the NIS pensioners should have been able to get everything at 10% each year. The way they're
all right. I hear you, and I'm sure those who are responsible hear you as well. I don't know if it will happen again for this fiscal year, but maybe next year.
Yes, these people are not privilege to have enough to put in another private pension.
Yeah, man, I hear you. I hear you on that. I hear you on that. But I'm still saying that they received an increase last year. So I can understand if this year another increase didn't come. But I hear you. You're saying just a little would do good. But maybe next year, all right?
A little bit better than nothing at all.
Or maybe the Prime Minister will surprise you in the middle of the fiscal year. Who knows?
We talk. Take it easy.
All right, let's try to squeeze in the other caller. Glenroy, good morning.
Morning, Miss Nora.
Good morning.
Congratulations on the continuation of your wonderful program. I just want
Thank
to
you
say
so much. I appreciate it.
I'm an ardent listener. I have a problem. I have worked with an organization for 31 continuous years, unbroken service,
Yes.
an agricultural organization in government. In 2018, I retired at the age of 60. 5 years later, I was required to submit my documents, information to the NIS office, which I did in Montego Bay. I was told then, when I took those in, that I will have to wait 18 months before I receive any benefits. Well, I went 2 weeks ago, it was my birthday, and, at the age of 66, I was still told that I have another 6 months to wait. I find it onerous and something that I think needs some investigation.
You are and all your contributions were identified. There was no issue with your contribution,
except for 1 year. And when I took that in, Housing Trust could have given identified that I had worked, and except 1 year they weren't able to. They said that they will do the investigation on that. But the young lady that I spoke to said she would not see any issue with just 1 year.
Right, but do you know if it's that 1 year that's holding up which it shouldn't be really, but I'm just trying to find out if you heard from them why you have to wait an additional 6 months.
Well, I was told that is a policy. I took in all the documents because the organization.
Yeah, but you went in early. You went in early, so by the time you reach the retirement age and you're ready for your pension, it should be ready for you because you took all your documents early.
Yes, but as I say, I left at age 60, and it means that I'll have to, at 66 I still can't get anything, and further to that, another 6 months. And, it's really very concerning, I think we need some probing, some investigation.
All right, stay on the line and give the producer your information. Let's see if we can find out from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, why your thing is being held up, even though you did submit all your documents from earlier and there were no discrepancies as it relates to your contributions. All right?
Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, no problem. Yeah, man. Stay on the line and speak to the producer. That's where we're going to leave it for the Consumer Hour this morning. Making way now for Cliff Hughes online. His eyes and hands are filled. He did his market run, and he is very much okay and ready now to start the show. So we make way now for Cliff Hughes online. Nationwide 90 FM, this station for the very latest in news and current affairs, will broadcast live from the Dairy Revitalization Project launch on Thursday, March 28, 2024 at the Northern Caribbean University. Cliff Hughes Online will be live on the ground, interacting with the likes of the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Honourable Floyd Green, and State Minister, the Honourable Frank Witter, various students from surrounding schools, and more. Expect this and so much more when you tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's a live broadcast of the Dairy Revitalization Project launch during Cliff Hughes Online, Thursday, March 28 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica Dairy Development Board.
Talk about love.
For years, he has been the sole provider for the ladies. But then he found a good woman and feels like 100 million.
He's like I want 100 million.
Is it fair to say we should leave his business alone?
Chatty, Mount Amasi, mix up.
He was just that standout, outstanding voice from Altogether Sing. But he's moved mountains and miles away from those days. Well, he's been there before and now he's stronger. But does he know better? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic, who is a real Romain Virgo?
Why you not allow people business?
Find out.
Leave people business alone.
Just like that.
Leave people business alone.
Brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
Tune in to our program live from our YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM. And remember to like, subscribe, and share our content. And we're also on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693.
The mission of the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs includes revising Jamaica's legal and constitutional infrastructure and accelerating the pace of reform. The time by the MLCA is
10 o'clock.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firmly to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371. 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255. Or find us on Facebook at Nationwide News Network and follow us on Twitter at Cliff Nationwide. You can also listen to Cliff Hughes Online live on the World Wide Web at nationwideradiojm.com or via the Nationwide 90 FM app on your mobile phone. Now, here's your host, Cliff Hughes.
Morning. Good morning. Let's get to work.
Cliff Says is brought to you by Educom Credit Union, providing value through service.
Cliff Says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I I was something to see, like a rock.
Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm at their market this morning. Them put me on market this morning. Yes? You know where them have me this morning? Charles Gordon Market on Fustic Road in Montego Bay, the western city of Montego Bay. It is a beehive of activity. And let me be clear. Inside the market, now really say nothing. Outside the things are going. Yeah? Let me tell you. But most of the vendors who are doing business are on the outside. Yeah? Of the Charles Gordon Market on Fustic Road in Montego Bay. And it is a phenomenon we have had in Jamaica for some time, where vendors seem to be unwilling to stay in the market. They are quite willing to put up with the sun and the other challenges of being on the roadside. Because as they've been telling me since I've been here over the last 2 hours, nothing now going, nothing now selling at the market, but things are going on the outside, on the road. And let me tell you something. The market is in need of help, and that is putting it mildly. Why is it that we here in Jamaica have been unable to create and maintain clean, safe markets for our people? Frankly, the market and its environs are hardly better than a dump. Hardly. This morning I made it a requirement before coming on here to walk and talk and buy. I bought for my house a number of ground provisions and to make my juice. So I bought my carrot, my pineapple, my oranges, yes, several other bits of items. But poor me don't know if the price is good. Me no know. Like carrot, and the lady tell me $100 a pound. I may try ball her down. I try ball her down, she not take me on. $100 a pound. Yeah? The pineapple man look at me and tell me $150 a pound. I say, alright. Give me 6 pound. Or 4 pound it was. Him say $675. So I say, alright, I give you 600. He say, no. No. And him insist. So I give him $700. If the change dead, I say, give me my change. Yeah? You know, go down easy upon your price, but you want to keep my change. Give me my change. Give me my $25 change. I'm going to take my change. And then the other experience. Went to the orange vendor. A lady. Mature woman selling orange. She decides to have us taste one of the orange. Come and say, I'm going to show them oranges can't really eat. They could have sour. She said, alright, let me make you taste one. And she peeled one, give me. And the orange was good. So I say, alright, may I buy a dozen. The woman give me 11. She said, you eat one already. She said, you eat one already. I said, are you serious? She said, yeah. What do you think? If you want a dozen, you have to give me $1,100. I said, all right, ma'am. So it's their sanitization program, the National Solid Waste Management Authority, is doing their sanitization program at Charles Gordon Market. And let me tell you, they need to improve the sanitization here. And they need to fix the market so that the vendors are incentivized to come into the market and shoppers will go into the market. There's a place them called, what's the name of the man, tell me? Jungle? Down first the side of the road. Yes? I'm looking for tomato and salad. Can't find a big salad. Yeah? And they said, go down to the big open lot. When it was like another market down there. But trust me, I am looking forward to hear more about the sanitization program. Markets are economic centers of activity, that we have not really managed and treated the way they ought to be treated. Markets are not somewhere that is dirty. I have water, sewage running, and you have to be jumping over running water. No. I made sure to ask to use the bathroom, the sanitary convenience. And by market standards in Jamaica, not too bad. But then I mean say good. It's not good. Yeah? And one pipe was running, leaking, and I said to the lady who was on the outside to collect, I said, a pipe is running inside there, try lock it, but she said, I know, sir, I know. Someone say, fix it. 'Cause it is running in the men's room. So, anyway, more on that later. What is happening in the house? There's trouble in the house, in the big house, Gordon House. Yes? As the Gleaner headline says this morning, house in shambles. That's the Gleaner headline this morning. House in shambles. Holness says Curtis's actions amount to dereliction of duty. Clerk of the House declines to comment. All over the non-tabling of Auditor General reports. That has now become a saga. Yes, that started last week Tuesday in the budget presentation of the opposition leader. And the Observer leads this morning with the same story. Yeah, back in your court, Auditor General returns reports to Parliament. And that is the big issue of the day. And if you have not been following the matter from last Tuesday, surely this afternoon, the Speaker of the House, the member for East Rural St. Andrew, will have to address these issues in a fulsome way. Yeah? Especially with the latest turn of events, which has really deepened the controversy. Yeah? Over how the Speaker of the House is handling the tabling or non-tabling of reports from the Auditor General's department. We were surprised yesterday when media got hold of a March 22 letter from the Speaker of the House, Mrs. Juliet Holness, to the Clerk of the Houses of Parliament, Valerie Curtis, accusing the Clerk of gross dereliction of duty and bringing the Parliament into disrepute, and saying to her that I'm going to put this letter on your personal file. Now that has escalated this issue way, way, way beyond what it was before, because it now seems as if the Speaker of the House is locked in a battle with the Clerk of the House. And it doesn't look good. It does not look good. And the Speaker will have to say a lot this afternoon to really cauterize what is degenerating with the publication of that letter. Yes? We got that letter, other media houses got the letter. And it essentially says that the Clerk of the House, Valerie Curtis, has been derelict in her duties, given the ruling of the Speaker on November 7th last year. She has failed to follow the procedures. And according to Mrs. Holness, in so doing, she has brought the Parliament into disrepute. And as I said, that has escalated the issue. Yeah? Where the politics of the issue is now deepening. We're learning that the clerk is due to retire come next week or week after next, the 6th of April. Yes? And apparently it is being suggested in some quarters that she was desirous of an extension of her contract, and that has been denied. And apparently that is part of the context of to all of this. What is happening? We just don't know. We just don't know. Yeah? This morning it's time for the break. Yes, it's time for the break, and then we come back with more.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm.
The Time brought to you by the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. Fueling growth everywhere is
15 minutes after 10.
Go crazy for this offer from Flow. Get a free Samsung phone and earbuds when you sign up for Flow Yard and Road for the special price of $4,999 plus GCT. Free is all the craze. This crazy offer won't last long. Visit discoverflow.co or your nearest Flow store for more info. Conditions apply.
Educom is at it again with the EduPower Energy Loan. Cut your high energy bills with solar. Power up your home, business, or upgrade existing equipment. Access everything solar. Panels, water heaters, and much more. You've got the power with the EduPower Energy Loan. Borrow up to $3 million with up to 5 years to repay at competitive interest rates. Conditions apply. Call Educom at 876-926-6973 for more info. Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited, providing value through service.
Whether it's a heartfelt eulogy, an inspiring tribute, or a remembrance, place your ads in the Life Tribute section of the Jamaica Observer to remember the extraordinary individuals who have left their mark on this world. The Life Tribute section allows you to share stories, commemorate your loved ones, and keep their memory alive. Find solace in the power of remembrance. Together, we can keep their spirit alive. Book with the Jamaica Observer today. Contact 876-936-9504 for more details.
Shop now and save in Active Home Center Home Sweet Home Sale, Wednesday, March 20th to 27th. Take up to 30% off selected tiles, bathroom fixtures, lighting, and so much more. Shop selected 18-inch ceramic tiles starting at $199 plus GCT. This sale lasts for 1 week only, so don't miss out. Visit our showrooms in Kingston and Montego Bay. Conditions apply. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Cliff Says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick. chicken line.
All right. So we're on the outside this morning of the Charles Gordon Market on Fustic Road. So you're going to hear ambient noise. Yeah? Quite challenging. Could you just get them to lower the volume for me, please? It's hard hearing myself. Yeah? So this issue of the speaker and the handling of reports from the Auditor General has deepened, yes, with the leaking of that March 22 letter yesterday afternoon to the Clerk of the House from the Speaker. And this morning, the Chairman of the Opposition People's National Party and the Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Andrew, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, described as overreaching Mrs. Holness' March 22 letter. According to Mrs. Brown-Burke, the Speaker is not within her ambit based on what she has written in that March 22 letter to Mrs. Curtis. Here's what she told Ricardo Brooks and Tawna Thomas this morning.
I'm still not very clear from the letter exactly how Mrs. Curtis, what breach she has actually committed. But I'd say a couple of things. This is not surprising because it is in keeping with the Speaker's penchant for overreaching. I would imagine when she made the ruling, in Parliament we know that the Speaker's ruling is final. And certainly for all of us as members of Parliament, that is how we have to deal with it, even when we have issues. We believe it is not properly grounded or believe that it is not the right decision to make. The question then becomes, what of the professional staff in the Parliament? Because quite frankly, we are normally guided by persons like the clerk of the houses or the deputy clerk in terms of interpretation, in terms of custom, and in terms of how these matters, if our rules are silent on them, how they are handled elsewhere. I have no idea if in coming to the decision that the Speaker made, she had any discussion whatsoever with the clerk of the House. And if she didn't, what does that mean? What then becomes the responsibility of the clerk? Because the responsibility of the clerk is totally different from the responsibility of the Speaker. And so that's one. Secondly, we are very clear that the Speaker does not have the authority to discipline the clerk. And I want to tell you, when we talk about good governance, these are some of the things we are talking about. Because what we have seen from the government is that they tend to believe that they are able, they have the authority and the right to discipline all of us, members of the opposition, the clerk, when our opinions differ from theirs. Yes. And I believe that for good governance, we have to establish an approach that allows for discussions, for airing of views, to arrive at decisions that we can all live with. Because if we don't agree, then it needs to be noted certainly that an opposite view is going to be expressed.
Angela Brown-Burke there speaking with Ricardo Brooks and Tawna Thomas this morning. Well, there are several questions here that beg an answer. Yes? First of all, the matter of the Speaker's ruling where Auditor General's reports are concerned. We have not had the benefit as a public of the basis, the opinion on which the ruling of the Speaker was made. I think it would be very useful for the Speaker to share that with the people of Jamaica as soon as possible, if not this afternoon. Yes? We need to know clearly, and I don't know if the opinion is such that it will get us to that clearer understanding. But right now, we are in suspension. We are between those who have one view, who have interpreted the law in one way, and the other view that says no, the speaker is quite right. Another view says no, the speaker is misinterpreting the law. Well, help us to clarify that, no? The Attorney General's opinion or the Chief Parliamentary Council's opinion on that, we need to know. Then there is this issue now of the Clerk of the House. Based on that letter of March 22, it wasn't clear the action or dereliction of duty committed by Mrs. Curtis. Based on the entirety of the letter, you could construe that whatever it was in terms of the ruling on how Auditor General's reports are to be treated, she did not follow those rules. Yes? But the letter was not explicit. The Speaker, and I don't know how she's going to do this, I don't know if it's a sitting of the Parliament, what, I don't know. The other thing that is of moment now, and I see the comments and the reactions, and Angela Brown-Burke raised it, does the Speaker have the authority to discipline the clerk to the Houses of Parliament? Does she have that authority? I don't know. It's something that we'd have to get guidance on. And then the context to all of this, is it a fact that Miss Curtis is set to retire in a matter of days? April 6? And she wanted an extension, is that so? And it was denied, is that so? There's so many questions, and the speculation is rife. And you know, I said it about 2-3 weeks ago. The country, whether we want to admit it or not, is now facing a very prolonged political campaign where every single utterance and action, yes, is going to be viewed as political with some real basis. I heard Dr. Dawes in an interview with me last night on this matter of the first black female member of Parliament in the UK, Diana Abbott, who is of Jamaican descent. Her parents are from Clarendon. And she has been viciously attacked by a big donor, an entrepreneur to the governing Conservative Party. And in a racist way, very vulgar comments by Mr. Hester. And somehow Dr. Dawes, in raising the issue, the man who did the attack, Hester, yes, is the owner or the CEO or one of the major shareholders of a company, the Phoenix Partnership, that has been contracted by the government of Jamaica and the IDB and other stakeholders to do the electronic health record system here in Jamaica before all of this became public knowledge. Yeah? Before all of this became public knowledge. Yes? And Dr. Dawes is now implying that there's something wrong. with the contracting process. And I heard Christopher Tufton, the health minister, responding this morning. But Dr. Dawes could not resist the temptation to play politics in casting aspersions about the contracting award process. Yeah? I hope to get that clip from the newsroom a little later with Tufton responding. Yeah? But it's going to be an interesting afternoon in the House. Will the Speaker address the matter in a very clear and detailed way? And of course, the budget debate is to be closed today by the Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clarke. Yes? It has been a very momentous budget debate. Yes? With some very historic developments. The presentation of the Leader of the Opposition being aborted when the government members walked out of the House. The Prime Minister's presentation, very momentous. A lot of things for the people of Jamaica. What will the Finance Minister come with this afternoon? We don't know. Time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me.
Mind your business, J.A. with Jump Online.
The time brought to you by the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal is...
It's now 10:30.
There's a new gym on the block. Listen up, Portmore. Express Fitness is coming to the Big Buy Plaza. Get ready to sweat at our brand new location. And here's the best part. To celebrate, we're offering an unbeatable deal of only $1,000 for the first month. That's right. For only $1,000, you'll have access to state-of-the-art equipment and a community that's all about reaching your fitness goals. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Head down to Express Fitness at Big Buy Plaza in Portmore, where your journey to a better you begins.
Pamper your senses at Bodyscape at its newest spa and grooming club located at 34A Mannings Hill Road in Kingston. Their Kingston branch is offering a special on pedicures with gel polish for only $2,500 until April 30. You don't want to miss this deal. They also offer facials, massages, manicures, and waxing services. Call 876-627-9454 or message them on Instagram at BodyscapeJA. Conditions apply. Experience a world of pampering at Bodyscape, now in Kingston, Jamaica.
Importers, the Jamaica Customs Agency is revolutionizing your clearance experience as our contactless clearance process becomes mandatory on April 2, 2024. This process will facilitate the clearance of all non-commercial personal shipments at our seaports with a CIF value of less than $5,000 being inspected by customs without you or your agent present. You're encouraged to make your payments using our customs mobile app, JA Customs Connect. Fees payable to your shipping agent and warehouse operator remain applicable. For further information, contact your freight forwarder or email contactlessclearance@jca.gov.jm or call 876-922-5140-8. The JCA's contactless clearance process is convenient, efficient, and secure. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Cliff Says was brought to you by Educom Credit Union, providing value through service.
The Olympic Games 2024 live from Paris in France, exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM.
The Jamaican star shines bright once again.
Live here halfway through in Olympic finals.
This summer, Nationwide 90 FM is coming in hot.
Jamaica to the blacks!
Nationwide 90 FM will be blazing as we bring you the games of the 33rd Olympiad live from the French capital, Paris. 16 fantastic days of competition in 41 sports.
Noblin Williams-Mills coming, the glory flapping, her arms are waving, and Noblin Williams-Mills coming through for Jamaica's gold.
The station will bring you analysis and live coverage from the opening day of competition, Friday, July 26th to the very last day of action on Sunday, August 11th.
And Portsmouth, let's go! Oh, what a run!
Everything and anything Paris Olympic Games 2024 can be heard right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
It is a glittering goal for Sharika Jackson, and how they will celebrate that back in Jamaica.
We'll capture the spirit of athleticism. We'll narrate the Olympic fever, define thrilling moments, and report on the blood, sweat, and tears of the world's greatest athletes. Nationwide 90 FM is going to the Paris Olympic Games, and we're taking you with us. Tune into Nationwide 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9 for live updates and commentary. We'll be giving the listeners a front row seat to witness excitement, triumph, and memories.
And I think it was a clean sweep for the Jamaicans.
Stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM 24/7. Experience the Paris Olympic Games 2024 right here on the Revolution in Media Nationwide 90 FM, your Olympic Center. Exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM.
Welcome deluxe, the cream cracker that rises to the top.
So crisp, so light, so buttery.
When you're good, you're just good. Hey, had the national flavor. You go off and buy this bag. So good, it's just so good. Welcome deluxe, the cream cracker that rises to the top.
So crisp, so light, so buttery.
National Baking Company, just so good.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock.
Welcome back to this special edition of Cliff Hughes Online. Them have me a market today. Yes, we're at the Charles Gordon Market on Fustic Road in Montego Bay, the tourism capital of Jamaica. But you don't want to bring tourists here, so, because it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Yeah? The market is not in a good condition. Yes, the vending on the street side. And we have with us the man in charge of the National Solid Waste Management Authority. And we are here for their sanitization program for vendors. And you know, Audley Gordon, I've been on this thing, why we can't clean up a country and maintain it. And look at the market. Look at the market. And it's too prevalent across Jamaica. Markets are in a deplorable condition, man. Yeah? You're the man? Where you sell? 3 sacks at 200. Ah, cool. Bargain. Yeah? Audley Gordon, why the market look so?
All right, so morning, Cliff. Morning.
Why you are here today? Two questions. Let me go. Why the market look so?
All right, so first of all, good morning to your listeners.
Good morning, sir.
And, you know, it's a high privilege every time to speak on issues that affects us all, like how we keep our market. A market is a whole ecosystem. You know market. You know,
yes.
The vendors live there. The people who come in, the itinerant people come in, shoppers. You know, I look forward still to going to the market. It's a special place in the hearts of most of our Jamaican people. Now, Cliff, I always speak to personal responsibility in the conversation that I have around the country, as it relates to garbage management and garbage disposal.
Yes.
Too often we have given the impression that the sanitization or the clean...
Go ahead.
Yes, that the cleaning of the country rests with the state agency alone. And there are a lot of people, including some of our political leaders, who give the impression that we can do it for you. The truth is, we have to do it together. Why are we here today? We are here today because, like you, we don't believe the markets should be in the states they are in terms of public cleansing.
Yes.
We believe that the fact that you are selling in a market doesn't give you the right to just toss things around. That you still have a responsibility to keep the area in which you sell clean.
Yes.
So we want you to make money. That's why we come, you are sell a market. We come and buy because we want you to make money.
Well, I saw, like this morning when I came here, yeah, and I saw a couple of the vendors with their brooms cleaning the sidewalk, the gutter.
Right.
Yes? Because them say, boy, them customer can negotiate the water, right? But they shouldn't be doing that.
So we wouldn't expect, because there is a municipality, there is a NSWMA. So we wouldn't expect them to be physically out there with the brooms like that. But what we expect of them is to properly containerize the garbage that is generated from their business. So that when we come to cleaning becomes easy. When the garbage is carpeting the entire market, cleaning becomes difficult and almost impossible.
But who's in control in terms of the management of the market to make sure, yes, that those systems in terms of who vends, where, what time, is adhered to? Right now it seems like you come and you just take a spot.
So the municipal councils are really, that is their remit. But it's very, very difficult because what we have mopped into Cliff is a cultural defect where people believe that it's okay. So good for those people you saw cleaning this morning, and we applaud them because they are seeking an initiative to say, no, look, my vendors, I'm vending here. My shoppers need a little respect.
Yes.
My shoppers need to have a good place to come and vend. But overwhelming percentage of the people don't think like that. They believe that once they can put out their wares and get it sell and they earn a buck, that their job stop there. So today we are calling them to action. We are saying to them, no, we want you to do more. You're going to make your money, but make it in a clean atmosphere, in a clean environment. And we're going to help you to do that. So we'll be issuing bags to them as a start today.
What kind of bags?
Garbage bags. As a start. We will be talking to them about some best practices. We'll be showing them how it can be done. We will be challenging them to become not just vendors in a marketplace, but preservers of the market environment.
And what has been the experience? Because this is not your first initiative to try and keep the place clean. And I asked that question. I met a gentleman, a vendor, without arms, lost both arms. He's selling spice across the road there. See his van there. And he said to me, what they do today? And I told him, and he said, God bless. That is so good. Yes? And I said, why? He said, see the place, Mr. Hughes? Yeah? See me have my little van here with my spice. And I love if we could have go in the market or find somewhere we can do. I spoke to several vendors, and they're all complaining. They don't like the condition that they're in.
And we are happy to know that there is that hunger there for a cleaner space, because that will play right into our effort today and what we want to achieve. So we are going to use that, and I'm happy to hear that, Cliff. We are going to use that now to be the motivating push that we would want to say to other vendors, look, no, we know that you want a clean place. We know that you will do better business in a clean environment.
But whose job is it to make sure that the market is managed on an hour by hour, day by day basis? Do you have a team in place?
No, that's not the NSWMA. I said earlier that that's the municipal council. But what we will do, and what we are doing today, and we are partnering with the municipal corporation, is to...
That's the St. James Municipal Corporation.
Yes, and I'm sure Mayor Vernon will be on you at some point.
I hope so.
No, he's around. I see him walking around.
Okay.
Right. And I'm saying to you that we come today not because we want to just create a little environment for some communication or PR purposes. We come because we want this day to be the start of something good, where all of us, vendors, not just the vendors, but the shoppers too, because we're
So
not
what is the system you're going to put in place now to maintain and sustain that, what you're starting today?
Again, that will go over. Now you're going back over now to the side for the municipality. But what we at the NSWMA doing is the public education side. We are committing to keep more focus on the market in terms of our collections effort. We are committing to give an open discussion and an open, like a line between us and the vendors. We are challenging the shoppers too, because if we can't leave the shoppers out, people come in, thousands of them on a daily basis.
Yes.
When they finish with a bottle of water, they don't see it as their duty, or a patty bag or a bun and cheese. They don't see it as their duty to find the nearest receptacle. They will toss it, and that's why you see the thing. So everybody have to come to the party.
Yes, but I'm challenging you, Mr. Gordon, working with the municipality, the market people. What is the system that you will now have to put in place? Yes, to get the vendors and the shoppers to say, listen, we have to keep this better. Just coming into the space, you're not encouraged.
Right. So now all the people who, and you're right, so all the people who use this space have to appreciate one thing. It is better for all of us if we have a clean space.
Yes.
Now, part of our duty now
is the messaging
as public educator is to carry that message and sustain it.
And beyond the messaging, you have to do the physical. Yes?
Right. Now,
the physical. Just look at where you're driving to this morning.
Right.
Yeah, it needs to be paved.
Right.
The place needs a paint job.
I'm sorry for Vernon.
It needs a garbage
I'm sorry for
receptacles.
Vernon when him come on later. Because
it needs receptacles.
Well, receptacles, in terms of receptacles, that is ours now. And we are looking at that. And part of what we'll be doing today is to look where we can strategically put the receptacles, the drums, and so on.
Yes.
We're going to talk to the vendors. We don't want to come and dictate to them. We want to get them in on the conversation too, so that they can say, let us agree to have 2 drums here, 5 drums there.
Yes.
So we will do that from our end. And I'm sure there are some other things now that will have to be done also in terms of the aesthetic and what you talk about, the paving of the roads, etc. But make no mistake about it, Cliff. It's important that we have the conversation with the vendors, and we'll be talking to them, with the shoppers, and we'll be talking to them, with the taxi men, or everybody who come in, right? We will be having that conversation, not just those in the market, but we will also be having that conversation with the people who sells on the outside also.
Well, Mr. Audley Gordon is the Executive Director of the National Solid Waste Management Authority.
And our enforcement people will be very active around the marketplace, Cliff. Because
for one day?
No, man. No. This initiative was not meant to be a day. Today we use the excitement of you and all.
Well, you hold on for me, because we want to hear about the enforcement. Okay, after you put in the physical, yes, you have to enforce. Because you know Jamaican people.
Right.
Okay, after the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
Control of your life. Don't wait till it's too late. Check your doctor today. Yeah. Get the BMI check, your blood pressure check, your blood sugar and cholesterol check. We're living well when we stay on top of our health. Know your numbers and take control of your life. Don't wait till it's too late. Check your doctor today. Know your numbers and take control of your life.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
A time to double up your savings. These are the boosts that you've been awaiting. Put it towards the dreams you've been chasing. Double up your savings. Double up.
Save so you can win in the Jan Bank Double Up Your Savings promotion. You could be one of 5 lucky quarterly winners to walk away with double the money you put in your savings account. Conditions apply.
Double up your savings.
Check our website and social media for details. Jan Bank will help you find a way. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Everybody. Forward. Is it possible for communities across Jamaica to move forward?
At Project Star, we believe it is. Project Star is a movement that's community-informed, community-led, and community-owned. We listen and collaborate to connect communities across Jamaica with the resources they need to deliver the change they've identified. We're all just real people who want to make a real difference, working together to transform Jamaica so everybody is valued and has the opportunity to thrive. To find out more and to join the movement, visit projectstarja.com. Everybody forward!
Nationwide 90 FM, this station for the very latest in news and current affairs, will broadcast live from the Dairy Revitalization Project launch on Thursday, March 28, 2024 at the Northern Caribbean University. Cliff Hughes Online will be live on the ground, interacting with the likes of the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Honourable Floyd Green, and State Minister, the Honourable Frank Witter, various students from surrounding schools, and more. Expect this and so much more when you tune in to Nationwide 90 FM from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's a live broadcast of the Dairy Revitalization Project launch during Cliff Hughes Online, Thursday, March 28 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica Dairy Development Board.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had
Welcome back to Cliff Hughes Online. We're coming to you from the Charles Gordon Market on Fustic Road in Montego Bay. Yes? It was opened in June 1965 by the then acting Prime Minister Donald Sangster. See the plaque there? Bet you can't read that from here. Me can't read it. You can't read it.
The mayor,
Yes.
Councillor A.R. Smith.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I can't read it.
You're good. You're good. Yes. So it's been here from 1965. That's more than 50 odd years ago. And we have with us mess.
Right, so let me deal with Papine first. The Papine market is always on our radar. The challenge we have with the Papine market, there is an area for disposing of the garbage. But a lot of the businesses in the Papine area, as are in other areas of Jamaica, don't want to sign up with a registered hauler to remove their garbage. For fairness, most business people do, but there's a percentage of them who use people who just have a little hand card. And you know, some of these people not exactly sound in their thinking.
Yeah.
And they will just go and dispose of the garbage anywhere they see they can dispose of it. So there's a problem there. And we have intervened there time and time and time again. I'm hearing that we have to step up that drive where I was with the new mayor of Kingston yesterday. We were talking about that very same issue. So the caller, the viewer, can rest assured that we have not ignored and we will not ignore any market space around. Spanish Town is a challenge. In Spanish Town, the main challenge is that every road you drive on is taken up by a vendor vending. It's very difficult.
But that means the municipality is at sleep.
Well, you know, you can get me a Scott on your program, but I'll tell you, it's in Linstead, it's in Spanish Town, it's in Old Harbour. Everywhere you go, people go out, and we have to find a formula to, you know, get people into some other space to vent other than just clogging up the main thoroughfares. It is not helpful to the pedestrians, it's not helpful to the vehicular traffic. It impedes police, it impedes fire truck, it impedes everybody. So it's a bigger problem than the NSWMA, but we know of the problem. What we try to do is to use night to clean those areas. The truth is, no matter how you clean those areas, by the reach about 9, 10 o'clock in the day, you're back to square one. We have to just keep going.
Well, one YouTuber says it's not all bad. Love Christiana Market, bad.
And sometimes we have challenge in Christiana too. But so it is depend on the day, the time of day you go, Cliff. You may find a clean space.
Yes.
Even in the same Papine. But you see, garbage is dynamic. Cleaning a town center, cleaning a market is not an event. That you go and clean it and it stay clean.
Yes.
It's a continuum. You have to keep doing it every day. So if you go at a certain time of day, the truck just leave. You see a clean place.
Yes.
If you go 2 hours later, it's a different conversation.
Right. So back to where you.
So enforcement is a
Yes.
critical component of the thing. But we adopt at the NSWMA an approach, and they gave us the two opportunities. We can go and use a big stick with the enforcement, but we also have to do the public education. We believe one come first. We must carry the message. We must go out there. We must hug up the people. We must eyeball them. We must get the conversation going. Because the truth is, I believe people are basically reasonable. And we are appealing to that reasonable. That reason. We're appealing to them in their from their better selves. That we can do better. We can together keep the markets clean. We can keep the areas that we vend clean.
Yes.
The taxi man coming in, he should be able to say to his passenger, none of you going to throw anything through the window of my car.
Oh.
The bus man must say the same thing. And we believe it can be done. But we won't get there overnight, Cliff, because cultures, as you know, die hard. When people develop bad habits, it die hard. We have to slug it out. We can't be impatient and get frustrated along the way. As the Bible, I know you're a student of the Bible, a former student of the Bible.
Former.
Yes. It says you can't be weary in well-doing.
Yes.
Because you will reap if you faint not. So we have to keep driving at it. We have to keep going at it. And take the little incremental gains. The lady talk about Christiana. You have some other areas where we've seen people making the effort. I just coming from the Bogue village, the Bogue area there, the district there, where they had some issues. And the Citizens Association there, Mrs. Cass Estrado, is there, and she's helping us, she's giving us information, she's trying to work with us to resolve it. So there are good people, and you see different pockets across Jamaica where people are trying to do the right thing. What we have to do is use that as the motivating factor to keep going and to don't get weary along the way. Just keep going.
Thank
we
you,
will
Mr.
get there.
Gordon.
We'll get there.
The Audley Gordon, Executive Director,
Yes,
NSWMA, thank you.
Thank you very much.
The mayor of the city of Montego Bay is about to join us.
Yes, sir.
I will ask you that you make way for the mayor.
I will. I'm happy to.
Thank you very much, Audley Gordon. And the mayor is the former deputy mayor, and with the recent elections, he was elevated to the chair of mayor of the western city of Montego Bay. It's my first time interviewing him since his elevation. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to your listeners.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes. First of all, you have been a councillor in the St. James municipality for how long now?
Since 2016.
That's 8 years.
Almost there. Yeah?
8 years.
Yeah.
Have you ever visited here?
Often.
Often?
This is where I shop.
You shop in
Yes, I
this market?
I do.
In these conditions?
I do.
Are you not ashamed?
Shame? No,
Yeah.
because we are fixing it.
Tell me how you're fixing it.
All right, so you can see the sign up here, 1965.
65, opened by...
It's an old structure.
57 years.
Right. Not much has been done to maintain the structure over the years. So natural deterioration took place.
Yeah.
And the structure that is provided within, in terms of the stalls and all of that, they are not necessarily appreciated by the vendors who use the space.
They use the outside, they don't use the inside for the most part.
They have many complaints. And yeah, I mean, that would have caused them to be out there. That's one of the reasons. Now, we have started the rehabilitation process, and we started this last year. So we have spent some $8 million to do the repairs of the columns. They were rotting like significantly and compromised the structure, the general structure. So we have repaired all of those. The next part of the process, and we're undertaking a $100 million rehabilitation project here.
At Charles Garden.
At Charles Garden.
Good.
So the next phase of the project is to deal with the area that is immediately behind us. They refer to it as the quote-unquote gun court.
Gun court. That's the name
Right.
I was told this morning.
So
down the road.
Right. So you have a lot of pittings and holes in the flooring.
Yeah.
The stalls they're old and tattered, and we have to repair the entire thing. Also, there are breaches. I don't know when it happened, but our investigation revealed that there are shops built on the drain that cause the water to run off properly, and therefore we have flooding in the area. So when you are here, when it gets muddy, the experience is not, wonderful. So we're fixing that. The next phase, as I said, and the engineering works have been completed for the drainage, the resurfacing of the flooring, the design for the new stalls and all of that. That will bring renewed space and make it more conducive to market, the meeting of vendors and customers in the space. I mean, at the end, we will see even visitors from abroad coming in and utilizing the space, because that is the level that we want to bring it at. We would love to build a new
Hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose.
on a tour to the market district, so on the outside and as well as the inside. And he did a design, but based on what the people said they wanted at the time to meet all those requirements, that new market would cost us about 14 million.
The weight of all these hustlers and their schemes.
Brick.
Okay, to bring it up to a usable condition, what's your timeline on completing those works?
We're looking at somewhere about September
this year.
Right, we started it. So the next phase is to we have apply for the additional funding, or the next tranche rather, not the additional, sorry, the next tranche of funding from the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, and then we move into the next phase of the project. So we're repairing the gun court area, quote-unquote gun court.
Why do they call it gun court?
I don't even know.
I was struck by that this morning.
I don't even know, but it is what we have grown to know it as.
Yes.
And we have the next section, which is the main structure of the market, where I said we did the repairs of the columns. That area will be repaired in terms of the stalls that are there, and will be replaced by things, structures that are more appreciated. As I said, that the ones that are there are not necessarily appreciated by the vendors. These ones that we're working on is in consultation with them.
Yeah.
So we will give them what they want in the space, because at the end of this project, we don't expect them to be on the outside. We expect them to free up the outside so we can have more space of parking, movement of traffic, and persons can enter Charles Garden Market and purchase. on Sundays, they come out in their numbers. I
Oh.
guess because they face competition from persons coming from rural areas with cheaper goods, more goods that will sell on the Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. So they get the
People come
space.
from as far as Clarendon.
St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Westmoreland, all over. It's like the central hub of markets here in Western
Oh.
Jamaica.
This is the number one market
It is.
in Montego Bay.
It is.
Oh, oh. And tell me.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Super healthy, super happy. SuperMed located in Kingston, St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary. The time by SuperMed family of pharmacies and Hughes Den Pharmacy is...
It's now 4 minutes after 11.
Yes, me get the last cheese. Taste the beat. Brothers and sisters, at the end of Easter service, we have cheese. Taste the beat. But one day we get no bun and cheese. Taste the beat. Serve, sell me some bun and cheese. Taste the beat. Why, this looking nice with some tasty cheese. Taste the beat. Could I have some cheese, please? Taste the beat. Make we get on real bad with the tasty cheese, boy. Tasty beat with tasty cheese.
Talk about love.
For years, he has been the sole provider for the ladies. But then he found a good woman and feels like 100 million.
He's like I want 100 million.
Is it fair to say we should leave his business alone?
Chatty, Mount Amasi, mix up.
He was just that standout, outstanding voice from Altogether Sing. But he's moved mountains and miles away from those days. Well, he's been there before and now he's stronger. But does he know better? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic, who is a real Romain Virgo?
Why you not allow people business?
Find out.
Leave people business alone.
Just like that.
People business alone.
Brought to you by SuperMed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, SuperMed.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're in the Charles Gordon Market on Fustic Road in Montego Bay, the western city, the tourism capital of Jamaica. And we have with us the mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Richard Vernon. And he has been sharing with us. He's been a councillor for 8 years, but a first-time mayor.
That's
he was previously deputy mayor, right?
Yes.
First-time mayor. A young man, yes, but not young at the job. On the job, right?
I have some experience. I have a little experience.
More than a little experience. So tell me now, you're a new mayor, new man in the seat, a hot seat. This is a pivotal part of Jamaica. Montego Bay is the economic
in a general context, we have several things that we have to look at. We have identified the challenges. Most importantly, we are providing the solutions. One that has been on the books for many years. All my predecessors, they come and they try to address that situation. Vending. Street vending.
Yeah.
Now, the approach that we're taking and support the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises unit, because we identify them as business people that should not be pushed to the fringes or marginalizing their operation, because it's a viable option of earning an income and carving out a way to survive. So we want to promote it, but in an organized way, and we want to manage it. So we have created that unit to first conduct a research, because we have been putting in many regulations, but have we properly researched the culture of vending? We have not. So we are carrying out the research and to come up with the findings that will guide us as to how we will treat with the management. Now, we have also we have also put forward the possibility of closing a street in downtown Montego Bay to facilitate vending. But we have to complete that study in conjunction with NWA, because they manage the traffic movements within the town, to know the impact of street closure in certain zones that can facilitate them. But we're not just going to close the street and say go on it and vend. We're going to upgrade it, put in the bricks and pavers, provide the facilities to carry out the activity. We have the number. So far we have collected over 500 applications, and while we are collecting the applications, we put them into the database, how many vendors, the types of vendors, and when you disaggregate it, you know that we have food vendors, the itinerant vendors, several different types. So for the food vendors, we are creating the safe food zones that we set up with the platform, so they can put their jerk pan, their this, their that, and organize the area, put them in that. So we reduce the number of the overall.
So which
count.
street you're looking at putting in?
So we're now looking at Lower Lawrence Lane, and we're to meet with the members from 4th Street on Thursday, the business operators in the space, so that we can work together, proprietors and local authority, to facilitate the activity in the space, because in the night they come out and it's an entire culture around there with jerk chicken and this and that. So our concern is to ensure that in that safe food zone and under the safe food program, the food that they're selling on our streets, they actually meet the protocols of public health. We called them in recently, and we got over 200 of them certified, and we got them trained by Hartrust NSTA and certified as well. So we're working already on the safe food program to reduce the loose vending across Montego Bay. So we're organizing them into that space. Now,
for those of us who are not from Montego Bay, Lower Lawrence Street is where?
It is adjacent St. James Street.
Okay.
So it is an off-road along St. James Street.
Okay.
So St. James Street is a no vending street. And that is the pain point for vending in downtown Montego Bay, because you have a lot of vendors coming out on that street, and then you have to play the cat and mouse with them. Now, at the arcade that recently catch a fire at a certain section and burn out, we lost about 56 shops in that area. So we did an investigation on the entire market, and we realized that while we have 150 shops, about 25% of those shops are actually being used for its intended purpose, which is to vend on a daily basis.
Only 25%?
Only 25%, because what they do is rent the shop, store the goods, head to the street. Now we realize that the market that is there, the arcade that is there, is not conducive to vending. Therefore, persons will not venture into the arcade to shop. So they have to meet the persons on the street. So we are going to create that space. We have the design already. We are now trying to get the funding to rebuild that space, that it may be viable and conducive to the activity. So we get persons in the space and then we get them to go back into the space.
Yeah.
So the road, the arcade, and organizing the food vendors in the space. That will reduce significantly the number of vendors that we have moving around on our street.
Yeah.
So that's one. The next one is homelessness. And we getting some disturbance here.
Yes. You want us? Let's go to the break and come back.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
There's a new gym on the block. Listen up, Portmore. Express Fitness is coming to the Big Buy Plaza. Get ready to sweat at our brand new location. And here's the best part. To celebrate, we're offering an unbeatable deal of only $1,000 for the first month. That's right. For only $1,000, you'll have access to state-of-the-art equipment and a community that's all about reaching your fitness goals. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Head down to Express Fitness at Big Buy Plaza in Portmore, where your journey to a better you begins.
Total Tools is now open in Drax Hall. Mondays to Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and open on holidays. Visit them at Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne. Telephone 876-972-6328 or 876-373-2729. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Hamper your senses at Bodyscape at its newest spa and grooming club located at 34A Mannings Hill Road in Kingston. Their Kingston branch is offering a special on pedicures with gel polish for only $2,500 until April 30. You don't want to miss this deal. They also offer facials, massages, manicures, and waxing services. Call 876-627-9454 or message them on Instagram at BodyscapeJA. Conditions apply. Experience a world of pampering at Bodyscape, now in Kingston, Jamaica.
For years, he has been the sole provider for the ladies. But then he found a good woman and feels like 100 million. Is it fair to say we should leave his business alone?
Chatty, Montamasi, mix up.
He was just that standout, outstanding voice from Altogether Sing. But he's moved mountains and miles away from those days. Well, he's been there before and now he's stronger. But does he know better? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic, who is a real Romain Virgo?
Why you not allow people business?
Find out.
Leave people business alone.
Just like that.
Leave people business alone.
Brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm.
All right, welcome back to the Charles Gordon Market. We're talking with the mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Richard Vernon, and he was telling me about some of the challenges and responses that he has on his plate.
So we have 300, we count. Mind you, homelessness can be looked at in many ways based on the conceptualization of homelessness. For example, you have persons they call sofa surfers, persons who will just stop over for a night. They are homeless for that time and they keep bouncing around from home to home until they find a home. But they're in a shelter, but we still regard them as homeless. There are persons who live in homes not conducive or not livable. Right? And once you're in that over a certain period of time, we regard it as homeless. Now, those persons, we have about 300 of them under the bridges, in cars, in homes, or so-called homes for them. We have about 300 of them. That population we are trying to reduce by 100 over the 4 years period. So each year we will try to get 25 of those persons off the street by bringing them through a transitional process and reintegrating them into society. We have also been looking for a possible location to erect a transitional center or to identify an existing structure that we have and rehabilitate it to turn it into a transitional center. We are making some headway where that is concerned, but in due time we will correspond with the ministry so we can finalize these arrangements and start to drive the process after. But homelessness is one, vending is one. We also have, as a tourist city, we also have challenges in the district where we have persons harassing tourists and all of that. But we cannot damage a product. We have to be realistic. The product must be maintained because the persons benefit from it, the transport, those who work at immigration, customs, you name it. So we have to protect that. And our solution to that situation is to implement the business improvement district in the Jimmy Cliff Boulevard area to start improving that area.
How are you in terms of traffic management? I'm afraid of the Montego Bay traffic, you know.
It can be terrible
Yes.
at times. During the daytime, it's okay. Peak hours, it's bad. And if we have a show, it is worse.
Oh.
But what you find is that there is instances of convergence. So for example, where the Meadows of Irwin, Estuary, Bogue Village, West Village, there's a convergence. They use the same road. And we're talking about thousands of people living in that space. Incidentally, the perimeter road will pass through that section, which should, to a large extent, help alleviate the congestion in the area, because those who want to get out of Montego Bay to work, because they do leave from Meadows of Irwin to go outside of Montego Bay, Falmouth and wherever, they can take the highway and continue.
Yes.
And those who don't go that direction, they just drop off at school, they can bypass the perimeter and go to school. So it will help. But traffic on the in the areas in the vicinity of the airport and the pier, it can be really, really bad.
Yeah.
So we continue to conduct the studies to see how best we can manage and realign and restructure the traffic situation. Some persons are saying to me, overhead bridges along Howard Cook Boulevard. It is something that the National Works Agency will have to sit down with them and look at. I've proposed it in the past and it was turned down. I'm going to go at it again and see if we can realize it this time. But we have several issues. We can't talk about all of them today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it.
And thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Good.
All right.
Mayor Richard Vernon, he's the mayor of the city of Montego Bay and its environs. Yeah? Well, we're going to take a break and come back with more of your calls. Okay?
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Listen to Nationwide 90 FM on 90.1,
90.3,
90.7,
90.9.
or visit our Flow channel on a 916. To our valued listeners, for questions, comments, or concerns about our programs, email us at programs@nationwidenewsnetwork.com.
But is this real? Hey, Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand.
Tune in to our program live from our YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM. And remember to like, subscribe, and share our content. And we're also on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock.
Welcome back. We're at the Charles Gordon Market on Fustic Road in Montego Bay. And I can tell you, based on the people who go to market, the prices I quoted earlier this morning, I was charged £100 a carrot and £150 a pineapple. One of my listeners on WhatsApp says, Cliff, those are good prices, Cliff. £100 for carrots, £150 for pineapple. Good prices, cheaper than what the vendor who sells at the gate of Stony Hills McMaster supermarket. Oh dear. So that's a view from one of our listeners. Another person says, how much for 4 socks? Oh, the vendor who was passing. Yes, and told me 4 socks are $300. Yes, 4 socks. This listener is asking, how much for the 4 socks? $300. Yes, for 4 socks. Another listener says, are you for real? I try ball down $100 for carrot, $150 for pineapple. You're wicked. Those were the prices last week. Earlier this year and December, carrots were as high as $250 a pound. So this listener is telling me that, listen, those were good prices. You're wicked. Well, me never know. Me anything them tell me, I assume say me can ball it down. That is how you shop at Jamaican markets. If they tell you something, make sure you try ball it down. Yeah? But I notice in abundance here at Charles Gordon, carrots, pak choy. I also saw a lot of tomato. Yes. I also saw a lot of cabbage. Yeah. Orange. Yes. I got 2 nice bungles of callaloo. Yeah, the lady told me she grows a callaloo in Clarendon. And here she is in Montego Bay selling. Yeah, the callaloo look healthy. Yes. But I have with me now the Director of Operations at NSWMA, Aretha McFarlane. Good morning, Miss McFarlane.
Good morning, Mr. Hughes.
Director of Operations. It sounds like you're responsible for garbage collection.
Correct.
So you are the lady we are to blame when we're not seeing our garbage be collected?
Yes, I'll take responsibility. You can always call me. Of course, if you're having a challenge with your collections, and of course I'll remedy for you.
Oh, so how you stay now in terms of collecting the garbage and the garbage truck you need?
All right. So where we are, we would have gotten about 99 trucks already since 2016, And currently, the government of Jamaica promised that 100 truck, Mr. Hughes, we would have gotten 50 of that already, and the other 50 has been procured. As we speak, there is a set of those trucks on its way here. So, of course, you will see some improvements in the collections when those trucks are here. There are also some other initiatives that we will be expanding when we get the next set of trucks, like the plastic separation. We just came out of Global Recycling Day on last Monday, and we had engaged schools and communities about our plans as it relates to separation at source. In order to get Jamaica clean, Mr. Hughes, we have to do it as a partnership. So the government has given us the capacity to expand our plastic separations. With the 10 tipper trucks that are on their way here, we will be rolling out an island-wide plastic separation. When I checked the data last week, we were in about 100 communities already doing plastic separation at source.
So how many tipper trucks coming?
10.
When do you expect to have them?
They're on the waters now.
Oh, they're on the high seas.
Yes. So as soon as they're here, of course, we're going to be expanding that plastic separation because, as you know, climate change is happening. And part of what causes climate change is our own irresponsible behavior with waste management. So part of our mandate is to educate the public on proper waste management practices. Because it's not an NSWMA thing alone to manage garbage. Everybody has a responsibility in this garbage management
effort.
Yes. So at home, how you manage your garbage is also important to you and your health and the health of your families.
But how do you go about getting that message out, Miss McFarlane? You have the one-off program like this. I see a couple other radio stations here doing a similar broadcast, but it has to be sustained, eh?
Agreed. So we would have gotten some funding in this financial year, because it's not yet up, to help with the public education, right? And what we do, we are targeting especially the younger generations. So we have been very active in the schools. We have been very active in community groups. We have been very active in social clubs, and we are sending the message. We use online media to communicate, and we communicate in a variety of ways just to reach different audience. Just like how we are on nationwide now, we are reaching the nationwide audience with our waste management message. Because we have to get the buy-in, we have to get the support and the partnership of the residents.
How do you work with WPM, that's Western Parks and Markets, and NSWMA to collaborate with the local stakeholders, the authorities, to get the place clean and maintained and the garbage collected, waste management? How you collaborate?
All right, so the WPM Waste Management Limited is a part of the NSWMA built out. They are the executing bodies, right? So under WPM, you have like Montego Bay, Westmoreland, you have Trelawney, those parishes, right, under WPM. And as I said, that's the executing entity. NSWMA is like the overarching entity that oversees and ensures that the regions are carrying out their functions. So what we do, we partner with, like, as I said, the municipal corporations. They are responsible for like the markets that we are in now. When they clean out the market, we have a duty now to clean up the streets, take up the garbage and do all those things. So we do collaborate not only with the municipal corporations but other bodies to ensure that the space is maintained and kept clean.
Do you see progress? Is the message getting through? You have any success stories that you can say, yes, we're getting somewhere?
I'll admit that there is progress, slow as it may be, but there is progress. I can speak to about 2 years plus ago, we had an initiative in a community called Chambers Spin, where we did composting, because composting is another approach to minimizing waste, and composting has to do with your kitchen waste, your peelings from your skin and such. Those don't really have to go to the disposal sites.
Right.
If you have a garden, especially like a rural area like Chambers Spin, why send the truck into Chambers Spin to pick up mostly that organic waste that can be composted and used back as soil nutrients? So our team would have gone in, the WPM team, and of course we were there too, and we would have engaged 9 farmers into composting, and they are to date, Mr. Hughes, still actively Cliff.
Yes.
They are still actively practicing composting. Also, we launched a plastic separation in that community, and you have persons today still separating and earning actually from those plastics. So we do have some success stories, you know, and we are replicating those across the island over time. Another thing that we would have launched is the e-waste separation at source. E-waste, electronic waste, that now is a hazard.
Yes.
Dangerous hazard. We don't want those things on the disposal site because they'll cause fire. And compare the cost to out of fire as opposed to preventing.
How should people dispose of their used computer, their laptops, their tablets? Where should they go? Where should they dump them?
All right. So with the change in technology so rapidly, what they can do is to call the NSWMA, because we will take it from you. You can drop it off at any of our regional offices. You can also take it to our head offices. You can call, like for business organizations, we want you to call us, call head office, and we will work with you to get those e-waste from you. We are doing everything on our part to keep e-waste out of our disposal sites. The government will have procured a truck. We partner with an exporter who was a license to handle the e-waste. So we pass them. We are very responsible in the waste management
so you turn
practices.
It into cash.
So yes, they sell the e-waste, right? So we do have a partner that takes it from us. Those that cannot be, repurposed, we treat with them appropriately on our disposal sites.
So business owners, individual owners of electronic gadgets, yes? How to dispose of that waste? Contact the National Solid Waste Management Authority. Yes? How can they reach you?
All right, so they can check our website. We do have information on the website. We do have a citizen's guide that they can access to, both hard copy and soft. We do have the mobile app that they can reach us on. Our telephone numbers are 876-618-2043. So once they call that number, somebody will answer the phone and direct the call accordingly.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Director of Operations, Aretha McFarlane. She's a lady you need to touch base with when you're not seeing a garbage being collected for inordinately long time, when they're outside their schedule.
Right,
yes?
And I can leave my number too. It's 876-564-7110.
Repeat that number.
876-564-7110. Anywhere in Jamaica you are, please feel free to call.
Good. Aretha McFarlane, Director of Operations at NSWMA. Time for our next break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock.
studying overseas? Contact Versan Educational Services Kingston, Montego Bay or New York office at 876-755-2187 or read the Wednesday blog at www.versan.org for more information. The time by Versan, VES is best, is
20 minutes, or it's 22 minutes going up to noon.
Importers, the Jamaica Customs Agency is revolutionizing your clearance experience as our contactless clearance process becomes mandatory on April 2, 2024. This process will facilitate the clearance of all non-commercial personal shipments at our seaports with a CIF value of less than $5,000 being inspected by customs without you or your agent present. You're encouraged to make your payments using our customs mobile app, JA Customs Connect. Fees payable to your shipping agent and warehouse operator remain applicable. For further information, contact your freight forwarder or email contactlessclearance@jca.gov.jm or call 876-922-5140 The JCA's contactless clearance process is convenient, efficient, and secure. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
There's a new gym on the block. Listen up, Portmore. Express Fitness is coming to the Big Buy Plaza. Get ready to sweat at our brand new location. And here's the best part. To celebrate, we're offering an unbeatable deal of only $1,000 for the first month. That's right. For only $1,000, you'll have access to state-of-the-art equipment and a community that's all about reaching your fitness goals. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Head down to Express Fitness at Big Buy Plaza in Portmore, where your journey to a better you begins.
Go crazy for this offer from Flow. Get a free Samsung phone and earbuds when you sign up for Flow Yard and Road for the special price of $4,999 plus GCT. Free is all the craze. This crazy offer won't last long. Visit discoverflow.co or your nearest Flow store for more info. Conditions apply.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
Right. Welcome back to the Charles Gordon Market. And we are here on Fosdick Road in the western city of Montego Bay. And I must tell you, the Jamaican people, they have an energy, a spirit about them. When I went into the gun court this morning, that's what they call down there, right? The gun court. And just talking with the vendors, 95% of whom are women, mainly women, mature women, yes? Mature women, mid-40s and up, yes? And when they engage you, you get a sense of what's happening in Jamaica. So we have one of the vendors joining us now. Yes? Good morning.
Good morning.
You're a vendor here?
Yes.
How long you been selling here at Charles Gordon?
I've been selling here over 10 years now.
Over 10 years?
Yes.
What do you sell?
I sell grapes, apple, I sell honey and Irish potato, garlic, seasoning, etc. Other stuff.
And
sell wholesale.
You sell wholesale?
Yes.
How you manage to sell wholesale now? You mean you give them a wholesale?
I sell them by the box. I sell the grapes by the box and the apple.
So where you get the grapes them from?
Buy it in Kingston.
Hold on there. Hold on a minute if you understand this. You go back Kingston but come buy grapes?
Yes, I sell and order my goods.
Oh. Why Kingston? You don't get it around these parts?
No, it's only in Kingston where those things come in. On the port.
Okay.
Right, so you have to buy from the importers who bring it in.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
And then you turn it around here?
Yes.
And you make a little change on it?
Yes.
So business
So
alright?
some people buy and they go back and sell on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh. So how business? May I fasten your business?
Well, I'm
how
giving God
business?
thanks.
That means
It's
you're
not
doing
bad.
alright.
Right.
When you say you're giving God thanks, that means you're doing alright.
Yes, I'm giving God thanks. Right.
This time of year, what moves fastest?
Well, this time of year is slow now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slow season now because everything is plenty.
Oh.
Right, but fruits will sell. The fruits will sell. No matter what, the grapes and the apple will always sell.
Uh-huh.
But like now, carrot, tomatoes, Irish potato, onion, that there are plenty right now.
So it's a good time for the shoppers.
Yes, good time for the shoppers now.
And you struggle as a vendor.
Not really. I'm not complaining.
Good. So tell me now, the experience selling at Charles Gordon.
Well, it's good and it's bad because I don't really have a problem with customers or anything. The place sometimes is dirty.
Yes,
it can
I
be
see that.
cleaner. And then some of the vendors, they can do better too. Yeah, you can clean up your own area.
Absolutely.
Right, get a garbage bin and put your garbage in it.
Yes.
You can go and empty it just
That's
to save
your
our-
personal responsibility.
Right, my personal
Too much of them just nasty.
Yes. Or they have persons who clean the market, so they get a garbage bin, they put the garbage in there. When the persons are passing by, they can just easily lift up the bag out of the bin, throw it in their drum.
Yes.
Instead of, everything scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is the security here? You feel safe here?
Yes, I'm safe.
Good. And the other vendors, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I don't think they have a problem either.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yes. Tell me something. This pumpkin here where you buy, what a nice piece of pumpkin.
I don't buy it. I just got it from a friend up there.
Oh, you get it?
Yes.
Oh, nice pumpkin.
Yes.
Look good for my soup. So tell me now, yeah, in terms of what you'd want them to do. I was speaking with the mayor earlier, the head of solid waste management. The mayor was telling me that they have some plans to clean up the place and to fix up the place.
Yeah, the place wants to clean up and the market inside, what they're doing there, I don't really like what they're doing there. With the shed that they build, I believe they should cover the market from the wall, from corner to corner.
Oh.
Because when rainfall, people still wet up. You still have to stop. So the market should cover from wall to wall.
Yes.
Yeah. All the irons that they use in the midst, I just think waste of money. Just cover the whole entire area.
Yes.
But I don't know if that is going to happen again.
Right. So when it rains, what have to do whenever it rains?
When it rains, the vendors and the goods can hardly hold under the thing.
Oh.
So the customers that is buying, easy, then still have to tie up stuff across the walking area.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
To shelter.
And I see they have a closed section here as well?
Yes. But it's not so fast.
Yeah, it's slow.
No, yeah, it's slow.
What really moves here?
When the thing's scarce.
Oh.
When the goods scarce, then you have a good market. But when it's plenty, no.
Yeah, and I gather people from all over there that
Like
come
right
here.
now, banana is scarce.
Banana?
Banana
Oh.
is very expensive now.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am.
But I have one issue.
Sure.
I sell around the back. And
That's where the gun court
from
is?
Bevan Avenue.
Oh.
Right. You come through Gun Court to come to Bevan Avenue.
Uh-huh.
Right. So on a Thursday morning, the solid waste truck would come like 3 o'clock, 4, even 5 in the morning, sometimes even 6 o'clock when it's busy buying time, taking up garbage, and I have a problem with that.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
What is a better time for them to come?
In the night. Like 8 o'clock in the night is a better time.
Yeah, that's time.
Not when people busy buying to go to other market to sell or to go wherever to sell.
Oh.
It's very unbugging. Sometimes the tractor ever brought down in the middle of the road.
Oh.
Right, and it causes traffic.
Yes.
Yes, and you come into market to do your business. When you look, truck block the road, tractor block the road, while you have a better time in the night. 8 o'clock in the night is a better time to do that.
Yes.
Yes.
So the authorities should consider that.
Right, the authorities. I always complain about it, even when the person passing in the truck and the tractor, I always quarrel with them. But you can't quarrel with them because they're working with somebody.
Right.
Right. So you'd have to, the bigger heads would have to hear about it.
Right.
And there's a water around there too. A hydrant around there is leaking. I don't know if it's a hydrant or what. It's right in front of the farmer mayor building. Yeah.
They need to fix that. How long that has been happening?
Fixed. Like maybe over 2 months now. It's
Wow.
really bad and it's getting the road bad too.
So that is the National Water Commission
Right.
to fix that.
Yes.
How are the sanitary conveniences? The bathrooms, the toilets.
The bathroom, they're clean sometimes, but is the vendor going there and mess it up?
Oh,
Not the
personal
person who clean the
responsibility
personal
again.
responsibility. Some of the people them who go in there, they are really Okay, you go in there and it clean, then go in there and mess it up.
Oh, God, and leave it same way.
Right.
Yeah. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Thank you so much for
You're
stopping
welcome.
by.
Okay.
All right.
All
Good,
right.
good.
Yes.
Vanessa there, a vendor at the Charles Gordon Market. Okay, time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
Furnitureland at 112 Constant Spring Road is Jamaica's premier furniture retailer when searching for stylish and elegant pieces for your home. The time by Furnitureland is
12 minutes to noon.
The Olympic Games 2024 live from Paris in France, exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM.
The Jamaican star shines bright once again.
Live here halfway through an Olympic finals.
This summer, Nationwide 90 FM is coming in hot.
Jamaica to the blacks!
Nationwide 90 FM will be blazing as we bring you the games of the 33rd Olympiad live from the French capital, Paris. 16 fantastic days of competition in 41 sports.
Nobly Williams-Mills coming, but Rory flapping, her arms are waving, and Nobly Williams-Mills coming through for Jamaica's goal.
The station will bring you analysis and live coverage from the opening day of competition, Friday, July 26th to the very last day of action on Sunday, August 11th.
And some parchment, let's go! Oh, what a run!
Everything and anything Paris Olympic Games 2024 can be heard right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
It is a glittering goal for Sharika Jackson, and how they will celebrate that back in Jamaica.
We'll capture the spirit of athleticism. We'll narrate the Olympic fever, define thrilling moments, and report on the blood, sweat, and tears of the world's greatest athletes. Nationwide 90 FM is going to the Paris Olympic Games, and we're taking you with us. Tune into Nationwide 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9 for live updates and commentary. We'll be giving the listeners a front row seat to witness excitement, triumph, and memories.
And I think it was a clean sweep for the Jamaicans.
Stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM 24/7. Experience the Paris Olympic Games 2024 right here on the Revolution in Media Nationwide 90 FM, your Olympic Center. Exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
Welcome back. And as we approach the 12 noon hour, we have with us Regional Operations Manager at Waste Management Limited, Edward Muir. Yes? That's... Tell me. Oh dear, seems like we have a mix-up. Introduce yourself, sir. Go ahead. Introduce yourself. Good. There's a Deputy Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Dwight Crawford.
Yes, that is I. Mr. Amir is much more attractive, much more handsome than I am. I'm actually honored to have been referred to.
I'm sorry.
Such a handsome
Deputy Mayor,
person. Yes.
Councillor Dwight Crawford.
Yes.
And you're councillor for what area?
The Spring Garden Division.
Okay, Spring Garden Division. And you are here today?
Yes.
Because of the sanitization program?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes? And as a deputy mayor,
yes,
your boss, Richard Vernon, told me earlier that they have plans here.
Yes.
You have big plans here for Charles Gordon Market.
Yes.
But the work is formidable. Yeah? In terms of your portfolio responsibility as deputy mayor. Yeah, in your opinion, what are some of the most pressing waste management challenges facing the community?
You know, it's an interesting question, and I was just saying maybe I should raffle it in a hat because there are so many. But the bulky waste, the solid waste, the level at which we're seeing persons creating these illegal dump sites is alarming. I remember in Christmas when I did my bulk waste cleanup, the day after I did the bulk waste cleanup, I visited the site to only find toilets, face basins, building material, household items in the same place where we had done an extensive cleanup. And I feel like it's almost like a cat and mouse we're playing with these perpetrators.
Why?
Well, because I remember the day when we were doing the exercise, there was a vehicle parked along the road. And I was saying to myself, why would persons be just parked in the bushes like this? But I said, anyway, let me continue. Only to realize that they were waiting for me to leave. You know, like how you're at a public bathroom and somebody is waiting on you to come out so they can come in. So lawlessness has become such a way of life for some persons in Jamaica that it is really alarming. And while I will agree that there needs to be more enforcement, I also will say that persons need to take pride in the country that they live in, because this is our home. Jamaica is where we plan to retire and grow our children. It is our home. You know, so I can't say it enough that we need to understand the part that we play in this fight. You know, many times when I go there to fight, I'm reminded that I'm not fighting aliens from outer space or some animals from some other place. I'm fighting my own people that share the same skin color, whose kids go to the same school as mine, who I play sports with on the court. And it is it's heartbreaking sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, but we have faith and we have hope, and we continue to do our duty because we know it's the right thing to do. You know, so even beyond the resources that are made available to us as representatives, in our heart as Jamaicans, that is what drives.
But listen to you, Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
I am thinking, why is it that is so? What is it that we are doing or not doing to get our people to a place, to a point, yes, that they can feel that, listen, I have to keep this place clean.
Well, let me say,
I have to play my part. And I put it to you.
Yes.
They're taking their cue from us, the leaders, who do not put in place, let me use this where we are.
Yes.
We have not kept this place in a condition that would say to the visitor, to the shopper, to the customer, to the vendor, that when you come to Charles Gordon Market, you dare not litter. You dare not go outside and do as you please. Because you saw the place keep clean. We don't keep the place clean as the authorities who are supposed to do so. We keep it like one little rundown mess. So they behave accordingly.
You know, I remember when I used to go to the country, my grandmother never had grass and concrete in the yard. It was a dirt. It was dirt.
Yes.
And believe me, Cliff,
but
when
that dirt yard
was amazing. It was amazing. And I remember as a kid, it was respectful. And when you came there, you saw order and you saw love and you felt peace. You know, but for some reason, I think that the generation that we're seeing now is more looking at the superficial things and thinking that because one can afford something, one is at a much higher level than others. When I have found that some of the practices that are damaging this country are being done by some of the leaders who should be more responsible. It's a conversation I have to be very careful with, but it is something that I must voice because I'm not saying poor habits don't only exist at the lowest level of the ladder.
Yes.
It starts from the very top. And leadership is not just government. Leadership is everyone.
But I want to go beyond everyone. There are some specific agencies and stakeholders that we must name. The municipal authorities in Jamaica have done a poor job in maintaining places like markets. Yes? And breed their failure to do what they're supposed to do. Breed this don't care attitude where look at what we have the vendors where they have to be vending.
I will say something to
and
you.
They have a responsibility, and all of them I spoke to this morning, Mr. Crawford, tell me that they are ready and willing. Yes, but you know what they want? They want tough leadership. They want that when them screw up, there's going to be enforcement and they will respond.
Well, I would respond to that, but I would.
But some of you political leaders afraid to take the strong leadership.
Let me say this to you. Let me just put it to you this way.
Yes.
Infrastructure has been put in place. Work is going on. But you know, there's that thing I have where I say if you give a hammer to a carpenter, the first thing that comes to his mind is I can use it to build a piece of furniture. But if you give a hammer to a criminal, the first thing that he will come to his mind is that he probably can bash somebody's head and rob them. So sometimes it is our mentality to, you know, we can't hide from it, you know. We need to have, we talk about reculturing. The challenge with reculturing is that it takes time. So while we're doing the enforcement, we have to be doing the reculturing and the retraining. But believe me when I tell you, the mentality of some of our persons is destructive. And what you see broken here, never broke by itself. But then the authorities get the blame for it.
And they never maintained it. The authorities didn't maintain it, Deputy Mayor. They didn't maintain it. Yes.
It is being maintained. And as a matter of fact, it is washed. The market is
this
washed.
This is being maintained?
Yes, man. Yes.
And go look at the sanitary convenience.
And I will tell you something. When you look at how frequently the market is washed, and every time you come in here and hear some of the comments that are made, you will believe that it wasn't washed from Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Crawford.
Welcome to the friendly city, sir.
Yes, sir. It's my pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
I've enjoyed it myself so far. Thank you so much, Deputy Mayor Crawford. Good. We're going to take a break now for the world at noon. We'll be back at 12:30.
Steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM. If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
12 o'clock.
It's credible and factual. The world at noon on Nationwide 90 FM.
A very good afternoon to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the Nationwide World at noon for this afternoon, Tuesday, March 26, 2024. A standoff between Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis and Speaker of the House of Representatives Juliet Holness is escalating. PNP Chairman Dr. Angela Brown Burke says the House Speaker is overreaching in trying to discipline the Clerk of the House.
This is not surprising because it is in keeping with the Speaker's penchant for overreaching.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says that the government is not reconsidering its contract with the Phoenix Partnership TPP. The Blue Lagoon Beach Access Public Rights case is heading back to court on June 17. In regional news, Venezuela's main opposition coalition blocked from election. In international news, Donald Trump media firm soars in stock market debut. And in sports, 5 students from Kingston College are the first recipients of the Jaden Hibbert Leaps and Bounds Foundation. The details after the break.
The Midday News is brought to you by Total Tools. We almost always have it.
EduCom is at it again with the EduPower Energy Loan. Cut your high energy bills with solar. Power up your home, business, or upgrade existing equipment. Access everything solar. Panels, water heaters, and much more. You've got the power with the Power Energy Loan. Borrow up to $3 million with up to 5 years to repay at competitive interest rates. Conditions apply. Call Educom at 876-926-6973 for more info. Educom Cooperative Credit Union Limited, providing value through service.
Now to the details. A standoff between Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis and Speaker of the House of Representatives Juliet Holness is escalating. This after the Auditor General's department resubmitted two reports to Parliament that were never tabled. The development comes just days after Mrs. Holness wrote a scathing letter of reprimand to the Clerk of the Houses of Parliament, Valerie Curtis, accusing her of dereliction of duty. Mahiri Stewart reports.
The reports in question were previously sent to Parliament on December 28, 2023 and January 29 this year. However, Mrs. Holness had the documents returned to the Auditor General's department last week based on a November 7, 2023 ruling that they must first be sent to the respective portfolio minister. According to Mrs. Holness, failure to do so is a violation of the Financial Administration and Audit Act. Nationwide News understands that this interpretation of said legislation is at odds with the Auditor General's view. It's also understood that the parliamentary opposition deems the Speaker's ruling flawed and is currently assessing their options for legal recourse. The opposition has long been critical of Mrs. Holness's handling of reports from both the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission. One senior opposition MP told our news center that Mrs. Holness's actions threatened to jeopardize the independence of the Auditor General. Meanwhile, in a letter dated March 22, 2024, Mrs. Holness strongly criticized the actions of Clerk to the House of Parliament, Valerie Curtis. She says the clerk has failed to adhere to her November 7, 2023 ruling on the handling of reports from the Auditor General. Mrs. Holness says Miss Curtis's actions amount to a gross dereliction of duty and threaten to bring the Houses of Parliament into disrepute. The House Speaker, in her letter, says her rulings are integral to maintaining order and the execution of administrative procedures. She says Miss Curtis's failure to comply with those procedures has undermined the effectiveness of the Parliament. The matter will no doubt be raised this afternoon when the House of Representatives convenes. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, PNP Chairman Dr. Angela Brown-Burke says the House Speaker is overreaching in trying to discipline Clerk of the House, Valerie Curtis. Dr. Brown-Burke was speaking on Nationwide this morning.
I'm still not very clear from the letter exactly what breach she has actually committed. But I'd say a couple of things. This is not surprising because it is in keeping with the Speaker's penchant for overreaching.
House Speaker Juliet Holness, in a March 22, 2024 letter to Mrs. Curtis, accused her of gross dereliction of duty in the handling of Auditor General reports. According to Mrs. Holness, she's alarmed to discover that the Financial Services Commission and the Tax Administration Jamaica Special Audit reports were submitted to Parliament by the Auditor General under the wrong section of the Financial Administration and Audit Act. The House Speaker says the clerk has a responsibility to ensure that the Parliament complies with established laws, protocols and guidelines, including rulings in the House of Representatives. Mrs. Holness told Mrs. Curtis that her failure to comply with the agreed upon and established procedure had undermined the effectiveness of the institution. The Speaker told Mrs. Curtis that a copy of the letter would be placed on her personal file. Dr. Angela Brown-Burke is claiming that the House Speaker doesn't have the authority to discipline the Clerk of the House.
We are very clear that the Speaker does not have the authority to discipline the clerk. And I want to tell you, when we talk about good governance, these are some of the things we are talking about. because what we have seen from the government is that they tend to believe that they are able, they have the authority and the right to discipline all of us, members of the opposition, the clerk, when our opinions differ from theirs.
Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, chairman of the PNP. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is rubbishing allegations by the opposition PNP about irregularities in the contracting process with UK-based company, the Phoenix Partnership, TPP. TPP is owned by controversial British businessman Frank Hester. Hester is under investigation for an alleged racist and sexist attack against British Labour MP Diane Abbott. Abbott, who is of Jamaican descent, is the first black female MP in the UK. Robin Williams reports.
The Phoenix Partnership, TPP, was awarded a contract in February last year to implement Jamaica's electronic health records. The contract was undertaken after TPP's selection as the most suitable firm following the due process of an international procurement transaction involving the Inter-American Development Bank, or IDB. But Frank Hester has come under scrutiny after it was revealed recently that he reportedly said during a company meeting in 2019 that Mrs. Abbott made him, quote, hate all black women and he wanted her to be shot. The opposition spokesperson on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, having learned of the comments, recently expressed a moral objection to Jamaica doing business with Hester. Dr. Dawes said there were also serious concerns surrounding the procurement process for the contract. Dr. Dawes spoke with Nationwide on Monday.
They are hiding behind the IDB. They are hiding behind procurement guidelines. And at the same time, they have failed to address the fact that the initial request for proposals asked for a $2.4 million contract. And what was signed was a $5 million US contract. There's nothing about the variation. And I can tell you that the IDB was not a part of the final deliberations.
The health minister provided a response while speaking on Nationwide this morning on Tuesday. Dr. Tufton says the variation in the estimates and the final dollar figure was less than 5%.
The internal estimate and the actual final figure had a variation of less than 5%. I think it's 4.5%. So this idea of 2.4 million versus 5 million, I'm not sure where that was pulled from, but it is incorrect.
Minister Tufton is further rubbishing claims by Dr. Dawes that the IDB was excluded from the final stages of the procurement process.
This was a contract that was advertised subject to international tender involving the IDB, and I heard it said that they were not involved. They were involved from the start. In fact, the international competitive bidding procurement procedure was approved by the IDB. They provided technical support both in developing the document as well as assessing each step of the way up until when the final award was made.
The health minister is declaring that there were no irregularities in the contract process.
It is somewhat of a leap to, and unfortunately, to move from there to a sort of assumption or even explicitly stating that somehow the government of the day and the ministry is complicit or maybe even colluding, my words, with someone who has that particular view, which is far from the truth.
Robeanne Williams for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Dr. Tufton says the government is not reconsidering its contract with TPP at this time. Is there any move at this time, Minister Tufton, to reconsider that contract that the Health Ministry has with Phoenix Partnership?
Not at this time, no.
The health minister says while he understands the concerns surrounding Hester's comments, he must consider the implications of suddenly pulling out of an international contract.
Any attempt at exiting this contract would do a couple of things. It is likely to affect us financially as a country and taxpayers because it can be challenged because there is no clause in the contract that allows for an out because of what someone says. as reprehensible as it is. And secondly, as I understand it, there's an investigation that's taking place which would probably have a greater impact in terms of whether or not this person was threatening another individual. These are issues that have to be concerning, but they can't be just dealt with at a whim and fancy, or because it's emotive, or because, someone feels that we should just act without due consideration for the process.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Health and Wellness Minister, speaking on Nationwide this morning. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has urged local manufacturers to put themselves in a position to meet the increasing needs of the sector for products and services. This, he said, is due to Jamaica being on track to receive 5 million visitors by 2025. The call has been made even as players in the tourism industry have grossed more than $1 billion since the Tourism Linkages Network implemented its annual Speed Networking initiative. In a recent address at the 9th staging of the Speed Networking event, Minister Bartlett said the meeting was being hosted at a time when Jamaica is experiencing its best tourism performance in terms of arrivals, including cruise passengers, stopovers, and U.S. dollar earnings. Jamaica has welcomed 1 million visitors and earned $1 billion in foreign exchange over the first 2 months of this year. He noted that the Speed Networking had become one of the most anticipated calendar events created by the Tourism Linkages Network in a continued bid to increase business between the tourism industry and local suppliers of goods and services from other sectors. Minister Bartlett said Speed Networking has recorded a high return rate. 94% of hotels surveyed as tourism buyers last year said they were satisfied with the products presented to them. About 80% of tourism suppliers also reported receiving business leads from their participation in the event. Now, the Blue Lagoon Beach Access Public Rights case is heading back to court on June 17. The matter came up in the Portland Parish Court on Monday. The Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement, JABEM, is one of the plaintiffs in the case. They are seeking to gain access rights to the Blue Lagoon on behalf of the public. According to JABEM, Blue Lagoon has seen an indefinite closure and blocking of the designated access road as a result of ongoing construction. The defendants in the case are the Portland Municipal Corporation and the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. In court on Monday, Parish Judge Maxine Dennis McPherson granted the lawyers for the plaintiffs more time to complete discussions with all relevant parties. She says this could result in the matter going to mediation or coming to another conclusion. Deputy Vice President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, Catherine Silvera, says Brand Jamaica turned many heads at the Expo Commerce Showcase in Panama last week. At the showcase, which is a trade exhibition organized by the Chamber of Commerce, Industries, and Agriculture in Panama, it featured 3 categories of food, beverage, and agricultural products, textile, clothes, and accessories, plus technology and electronics. A delegation including P.A. Benjamin Manufacturing Company Caribbean Foods and Pepsi-Cola Jamaica participated in the exhibition under the Brand Jamaica label. Speaking with Nationwide News, Mrs. Silvera says a number of Central American countries showed massive interest in Jamaica's products.
The Expo Commerce is in its 40th year, and so the JMEA spearheaded a mission to Expo Commerce, and we had 4 participants of Jamaican manufacturers with us. While at the show, we were able to interact not only with distributors from Panama, but also other Central American countries, such as, I believe, Nicaragua, Guatemala, as well as other Spanish-speaking Caribbean islands. You know, whenever you're able to showcase Jamaican products for export, it's a great opportunity. But especially for P.A. Benjamin as well as Home Choice, they seem to have a supremely successful showcase. They had a lot of interest from companies, distribution companies in the Central American space.
Mrs. Silvera says plans are in place for Jamaican companies to participate in more international expos.
I know that there is talks being held with the Dominican Republican Embassy about a trade mission to DOMREP, as well as they are putting on something in April in Jamaica that we are working on exhibiting at that, where they're inviting companies from the DOMREP to come. I know we are in talks in Trinidad and Tobago. They have a trade expo, called TIC in July, I believe it is, and we're seeking support from our membership in terms of if there are members that would like to participate in a Jamaica pavilion. I'm trying to seek opportunities in Ghana, maybe not for this year, but early next year.
Catherine Silvera, Deputy Vice President of the JMEA. In regional and international news now, regional news, Venezuela's main opposition coalition says its candidate has been blocked from the July 28 presidential election. The Opposition Unitary Platform, PUD, says it was unable to access the Electoral Council website to register its candidate, Corina Yoris. It is the latest setback for the PUD, whose leader, Maria Corina Machado, had been barred from running for office. Polls have suggested that if the election was free and fair, Ms. Machado could beat President Nicolas Maduro. Ms. Machado made headlines in October when the notoriously divided opposition united behind her. She received more than 90% of votes in a primary election organized by the opposition. The primary was denounced by the government of President Maduro as illegitimate, and Ms. Machado and members of her Vente Venezuela party have been targeted by the authorities since her overwhelming win. Ms. Machado herself had a ban which prevents her from running for public office confirmed by the Supreme Court, which is stacked with government loyalists. International news now. Shares in Donald Trump's media company have soared as the firm makes its formal debut on the stock market. Shares surged past $70 each in opening trade, a price that gives the firm a market value of more than $9 billion. The long-awaited moment will inject more than $200 million into Trump Media and Technology Group and hands the former president a stake worth more than $5 billion. Analysts say that is far more than warranted given the performance of the business. Trump Media operates Truth Social, a Twitter-like service that brought in just $3.3 million in revenue in the first 9 months of last year and lost nearly $50 million. It says 8.9 million accounts have been created since the platform launched to the general public in 2022 as an alternative to mainstream sites such as Facebook, but it is not clear how many are active. And that's it for the local, regional, and international segments at 12. Up next, sports.
Who shops at Creative Building Finishes? You, the homeowner who creates luxurious spaces with our floor and wall tiles. The contractor and builder who are convinced that our ceramic tiles are right for the job. The architect and designer who make dreams come true with our wood look and porcelain tiles. Superior customer service, knowledgeable staff, inviting showroom, and you get where this is going, right? Shop 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get Creative Building Finishes.
Welcome deluxe, the cream cracker that rises to the top. So crisp, so light, so buttery. When you're good, you're just good. Hey, had the national flavor. You go off and buy this bag. So good, it's just so good. Welcome deluxe, the cream cracker that rises to the top. So crisp, so light, so buttery. National Baking Company, just so good.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, up-to-the-minute local and international sports news, this is the Nationwide Sports at Noon.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to your midday sports report here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Cricket West Indies CWI has published its annual report and audited financial statements for the fiscal year 2022-23 following the annual general meeting held in Antigua on Saturday. CWI recorded revenues of US $62.3 million and net income of US $14.25 million for the year ending September 30, 2023. The interactive annual report also includes sections on cricket, fan engagement, and an honors list showcasing accomplishments over the year. Rain is playing a major role on the opening day of the West Indies Rising Stars Regional Under-15 Cricket Championships being played in Antigua. At sports time, the Leeward Islands Under-15 were 133 for 7 against Jamaica when Rain stopped play at Coolidge. The Windward Islands reached 44 for 2 against Trinidad and Tobago at Bethesda Cricket Ground, and Rain has also stopped play in that game. Rain has delayed the start of the game between Guyana and Barbados, that game scheduled for Liberté Sports Club. Now at sports time, Excelsior High School reached 200 for 3 against St. Jago in the Issa Grey Shield cricket final at Sabina Park. Vital Laws has so far taken 2 wickets for St. Jago. Excelsior won the toss and elected to bat. Coach of Excelsior, Kirkland Bailey, explains the reason behind his decision to bat.
Over the years, it's always easier to set a total in a final. Scoreboard pressure does a lot, and we want to bat when the pressure is this on, so hopefully we see the probability of us doing well. And so far, we have gone over 100 runs the last 2 crickets, but hoping to steady the ship and continue to bat out the session, assess at lunch, and hopefully we'll have enough wickets in hand to resume.
Kirkland Bailey. And coach of St. Jago, Joseph Lemmy, says he'll be depending heavily on his spinners.
When we started, we had our plans from last night, tactically and strategically. We plan to start with the pace. We know that the nature of Savannah Park is a quick pitch. This morning we realized that it wasn't working for the pace bowlers. They weren't bowling the right areas. Immediately we brought in our trump card, which are the spinners. They have been doing the job for us from season. And at this moment, as you can see, they got the breakthrough for us. So we are looking at, based on how the pitch looks, we want to use our spinners as much as possible.
That's Joseph Lemmy. The test game in the multi-format 2025 Women's Ashes Series in Australia will be a day-night game at the 100,000-seater Melbourne Cricket Ground. The test match returns to a 4-day affair. It was extended to 5 days in the 2023 series in England. Now the pink ball game, which starts on January 30, will also end the multi-format series for the first time since it was introduced in 2015. Australia retained the Ashes with an 8-8 draw last year in England. The series will also consist of 3 one-day internationals and 3 T20 games at 2 points each for those. The test is worth some 4 points. Now the one-day internationals will start the series from January 12 before the T20s on January 20. Australia won the test in 2023, but England claimed both white ball series 2-1. And England last won the Women's Ashes in 2014 with a 10-8 victory down under. Kingston College athletes Aaron McKenzie, Jaquan Dawkins, Ehud Green, Joshua Lewin, and Ricardine Wilkins are the first recipients of the Jaden Hibbert Leaps and Bounds Foundation. The World Under-20 triple jumper launched the foundation to support the education of students at his alma mater, Kingston College. Hibbert handed over a check valued at $780,000 to the school's principal, Mr. Dave Myrie, recently. Each student will receive $150,000 each to cover their tuition fees, books, and other expenses for a full academic year. Hibbert says the establishment of his foundation represents the realization of a lifelong dream.
Today marks not just a new chapter in my athletic journey, but the birth of a vision that I always long to see come true. A vision where every student's educational aspirations are in reach. A vision where a student's potential is not curtailed by lack of resources, and a vision fueled by the yearning for greatness.
That's Jaden Hibbert. The J3 has recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the German Embassy, which will help with the organization of a pre-Olympic camp in Stuttgart, Germany. The camp will take place July 11 to 21, with the athletes leaving for Paris immediately following. The MOU was signed by J3's president, Garth Gale, and the German ambassador, Jan-Henrik Van Thiel, at the J3's office. Treasurer of the J3's Lottie Bernard says the facility in Stuttgart is a perfect one.
They offered to provide the camp facilities. They had everything. They had play field, they had track, inside track, they had gym, and the gym, some of the equipment in gym I've never seen them before, and I've done a lot of places. And the medical facilities, indoor facility, medical training, recovery room. They had everything that one would ever want. We were thinking that perhaps we were part of Bundesliga. They are Munich with the type of facilities that were provided. So, having had that discussion, we found that the facilities were good and the financial terms were very favorable in our subsidized financial terms.
Ludlow Watts Ambassador Van Thiel says the partnership between the J3s and Germany is a match made in heaven.
A lot of soft power in Jamaica is coming through sports. All of us, we acknowledge this with humility, how good you are, how excellent you are. And Germany also brings something to the table. These gentlemen are excellent also in a different way. They don't run as fast as you, but they can organize stuff. They have the technology, they have the science behind. So I think that is a partnership, is a match in heaven. Bringing together Jamaican talent, Jamaican enthusiasm, Jamaican identity, with German organization, German technology, and German also companies.
That's German Ambassador to Jamaica, Jan Henry Van Thiel. Reigning 110 meters hurdles Olympic champ Hansel Parchment says younger Jamaican athletes are now starting to believe that they can dominate events other than the sprints. Parchment says his victory in the sprint hurdles final at the Tokyo Games has helped to reinforce that belief.
I think the younger athletes are seeing that we have the potential to do well in other events, right? Because we are mostly known for the sprints 100, 200, which is, let's call it bread and butter. But we have the capacity to take over in other events as well. And I think of course we had hurdlers before me, right? Like Dwight Thomas and those guys did really well, right? So, but I think I did a good job in, getting the medal and bringing Jamaica on the map, showing that hey, we have the capacity to dominate the hurdles. We can take over from the USA, and I think we've been doing a good job at that so far. We want to build even further to start to dominate other events, not just 100 and 200.
That's Hansel Parchment. Midfielder Anthony Nelson scored in minute 7 to give Tivoli a 1-0 win over Harbourview in the Ray and Nephew Premier League game at the Tony Spaulding Sports Complex last evening. The win moved Tivoli up to second in the table. They are 48 points, the same as Cavalier, but they have a superior goal difference. Humberland, they blanked Limehall Academy 6-0 in the first game. Cleo Clark, he got a hat-trick for Humberland. Andre Clennon, Tajay McCarthy and Chandler Anderson were the other scorers for the Clarendon-based Humberland. The former Garver Monsieur standout Clark was named man of the match.
It's an amazing feeling. It was my best game, but it's an amazing feeling. Well, it's a learning process, game by game, and surely we'll see more. Still have a lot of experience same way. Meanwhile, with the youngster coming into Premier League, so it's a great feeling playing with Madagascar Cup and Manning Cup players.
Yeah, that's the starman for Humberland, Cleo Clark. And that will do it for your midday sports report here on Nationwide 90 FM. Sports is going to be back on this station at 5:25 this afternoon. Until then, I'm Wayne Walker. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
You now have the chance to live in luxury when you choose Suncoast Beach Club, an oceanfront resort-inspired gated community. Visit them for tours of their model unit from Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday to Sunday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. All viewings are by appointment only, so schedule yours today. Email viewing@suncoastbeachclub.com or call 876-216-5454 to book your tour. Suncoast Beach Club, resort-inspired living.
To recap our top stories making the nationwide world at noon, a standoff between Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis and Speaker of the House of Representatives Juliet Holness is escalating. PNP Chairman Dr. Angela Brown Burke says the House Speaker is overreaching in trying to discipline the Clerk of the House.
surprising because it is in keeping with the Speaker's penchant for overreaching.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the government is not reconsidering its contract with the Phoenix Partnership, TPP. I'm Tawna Thomas. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app, available on Google Play and the App Store. Major news next at 5.
The Midday News was brought to you by Total Tools. We almost always have it.
You know, there was a time when some senior citizens never get 1 red cent in pension. Now your government has ensured that every senior citizen over 75 can collect pension under the new social pension program. Sign up today.
The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is
12:33.
Yes, me get the last cheese. Taste the beat. Brothers and sisters, at the end of Easter service, we have cheese. Taste the beat. But one day we ain't getting no bun and cheese. Taste the beat. Serve, sell me some bun and cheese. Taste the beat. Why, this looking nice with some tasty cheese. Taste the beat. Could I have some cheese, please? Taste the beat. Make we get on real bad with the tasty cheese, boy. Tasty beat with tasty cheese.
Live exquisite this year with new arrival black and chrome fixtures for your home at Unique Living. Select from a wide variety of rain shower systems, fabulous faucets, and stylish sinks to suit your kitchen and bathrooms. Get uncompromised quality and style unique to you. Shop everything new at Unique Living, Jamaica's leading shower and faucets provider. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10, or call 876-755-3661 to 2.
Stand out among competitors. Show your commitment to quality. Submit your entry in the Bureau of Standards Jamaica National Quality Awards Program. Your entry provides the opportunity for a free comprehensive assessment of your organization's management system and facilitates improvement in effectiveness and efficiency. This prestigious award associates your organization with performance excellence. Step into a world of excellence. Gain access to international markets. Enter today.
Call 618-1534. The Bureau of Standards Jamaica, making standards work for you.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right. Like a rock. Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me. Like a rock.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you so much for staying with us here Nationwide at 5 or Nationwide 90 FM. It's Cliff Hughes Online. Not at 5 yet. Yes, that's later this afternoon. And we're coming to you from Charles Gordon Market on Fustic Road in the western city of Montego Bay, looking at problems to do with solid waste management and vending here at the Charles Gordon Market. A market that was opened way back in 1965 by the then acting Prime Minister Donald Sangster. Yes, so it's been around for 57 years. A little older than that, 35 and 24, 59 years. Yeah. Well, let's come back now to the business of waste management, and we have joining us the Regional Operations Manager at the Waste Management Limited, Edward Muir. We get it right this time. Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Muir.
Good afternoon, please.
Good. Well, you are Regional Operations Manager. Yeah, so your areas cover which parishes?
Okay, good afternoon, Cliff. Good afternoon, listeners.
Good afternoon.
Regional Manager for WPM Waste Management Limited, which comprises of Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland.
Oh, Four big parishes.
4 big parishes.
Yes. And are you struggling with waste management?
Yes, we are. We are, definitely.
How so?
The truth of the matter is, we have some challenges that we are currently trying to work out our best. We can fix them to alleviate some of the chronic issues that residents are facing as it relates to garbage collection. One of the main issues that we're having is downtime of units. Most of the units that we have 21 units currently in operation right now.
Across the
the 4 parishes.
21?
And I must tell you, 21, just 21. And there are not 21 new units.
Yes.
I must say that most days we have like 15 or 16 going out because there are some issues. Issues are downtime. We have shortage as it relates to drivers. We don't have enough drivers for the units. We have persons disposing of their waste in an irresponsible way. So, that takes a lot of time as it relates to if you are supposed to move through a particular area in a 2 hour, you end up spending like 4 or 5 hours. So there are some challenges, but we are at the drawing table now to see how best we can fix it and then alleviate some of those issues. Yeah.
Did you say you have challenges sometime not having drivers?
Yeah, we do have a serious driver shortage right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we do. Because one of the things that you have to understand is that as it relates to the western end of the island,
yes,
there are options for drivers. You have drivers that they are quick to work with the Chinese, the hotel, cement trucks, Juta buses, etc.
Oh.
So you find drivers reluctant, willingly ready to come on board to work with us.
So the demand for their services
Very
is
great.
strong.
Very strong this time.
And you can't compete in terms of salaries.
Cannot compete.
Wow.
Cannot compete. Because just last month, 2 drivers left from Trelawney. I was told that they were offered a better package elsewhere. So we are now in the process of recruiting additional drivers.
What are the qualifications? Of course, you have to have what kind of driver's license?
All right, so you have to have an open driver's license.
Right.
So the process is once someone is interested, because from time to time we do advertise the position in the paper. So once the position is open, person would come in. We have to do an internal assessment. After such assessment, then they are sent to Island Traffic Authority. Now they have to pass Island Traffic Authority tests before we can employ them. So it is a process, because one other thing we have to understand is that one of these trucks costs over 20 million. So we have to ensure that persons are competent, mentally and physically, to manage the government resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on average, what's the salary for a starter driver at Western?
It varies. It's an 8-hour shift, but based on what is happening now, they are required to work overtime because we don't have enough units. For example, downtown Montego Bay, every single night we have to have at least 2 trucks to clean downtown Montego Bay. We have areas like Falmouth. We have to have 1 unit every night in Falmouth. Negril, we have to have a unit in Negril every night. And we do try to do night collection in Lucy as well. So currently, it's very difficult as it relates to drivers, getting sufficient drivers to properly drive the units.
And you have 21 units, but ideally, how many you need?
Ideally, we would need at minimum 60 trucks, 60 units.
So you're just about a third of your what you need.
To properly maintain WPM. I know Mr. Garden, he had made provision, in the budget to get some more units. So even though we are getting 50 trucks now, I know in next financial year he's making provision to get more units as well. Because what happens is that the fleet was allowed to run down. So we are now trying our best to ensure that we don't have that anymore, because the cost to repair these trucks are very huge.
Yeah. So, to your clients, your customers,
Yeah.
what do you say to them?
Well, what I am saying to them is that bear with us. I know the excuse is not good enough for them because they pay their property tax, so they should get results. But what we are trying to do now, even this morning, we did a major cleanup operation over by Bogue. We discovered that persons are dumping garbage over there illegally. Now we're talking construction waste, we're talking old fridge, you name it. And these are some of the things that cause us to divert from our core functions, from collecting residential waste, because we have to divert resources from time to time to go into some of these communities to ensure that we don't have a buildup of bulky waste. And from that brings, mosquitoes, rats, all kind of stuff. So it's a very difficult job, very, very difficult.
So where in Bogue was that taking place?
Right at the foot of Bogue Heights right there.
Oh.
Going on to Long Hill.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have erased it?
Yeah, we have cleaned it. We went out there this morning with some tippers, backhoe, and we had about 15 labor out there. And we intend to continue this cleanup over the next couple of days to clean that entire stretch.
Yeah.
Some of the other things that we're working on is that we have started our plastic separation program. Last week, Monday, we were at Estuary where we erected some receptacle over there, and the residents there were very receptive. We did one last year, December. We partnered with the Member of Parliament at Lucy. We got about 4 truckloads from that location. And we are looking at other areas. We did one in Canterbury, and we are looking now to go into Westmoreland and also Trelawney. Because what we're trying to do, we're trying to encourage residents to separate their garbage. Because the less plastic enters the compactor, the more space we have to collect residential garbage. And also we're trying to bring less waste on the landfill, because there are many wastes that can be reused and reduced. Also, some of our cleanup project that we have been undertaking is that what we have done is that we have used like old tires and some of the other stuff that persons would normally send on the landfill. So we are demonstrating to the citizens that, listen, some of these wastes can be reused. We can actually use them to beautify the country. You understand? So, it's a road, and we intend to step up our PR and our enforcement, public education, so that residents can buy into the roadmap that we're laying out for this side of the island.
One last one from me. It is always a striking observation that when I come to Montego Bay, the elegant corridor is well maintained, well clean.
Yes.
But the moment you come into the city proper, downtown Montego Bay, well, we can't do the same thing that whatever is used to maintain and clean the elegant corridor. Why can't that be done here?
All right, excellent question. So for the elegant corridor, Bogue and other sections of entrance entering the second city, what we have done is that we have purchased mist blowers, and we have a special team each morning that goes and maintain the silt, to remove the silt from some of the curves and channel and drains. We have persons who go with the mist blower to ensure that all the bushes, grass that are on the road, we try to keep it clean. Now, for Montego Bay, we have about 110 sweepers in the town center across. They do 8 hours per day. Now, it was last week, the team and I, we did a walk through the town. And what we have realized is that even though we clean the town center from as early as 4:30 each morning, by it reached 3 p.m., it's as if we have never done any work for weeks. So we are now putting in, we are short order, we're going to put in a PM cleaning operation where we will be doing some sweeping in the afternoon. Also, we will be in short order erecting some receptacles at strategic locations across the town centre, where we will have persons to remove them as soon as possible. Now, if you look around though, you see a lot of plastic bottle drinks, etc. on the ground. All these areas we had it clean this morning. But the truth of the matter is, most persons, they have lost civic pride. I mean, they go to America, they go to Canada, they abide by the rule there.
Because if they drop anything, they are arrested.
And
they are charged.
So that is one thing.
And they don't play.
They don't play, right?
We play.
So that is one thing we are working on. So that persons who disregard the law, they feel the full blunt of the law.
Yes.
So that they don't do it again.
Yeah.
We have stepped up on the enforcement activities as well. We have persons have been dumping construction waste in the town centre. And we have charged some of those persons, and we continue to be vigilant to ensure that person desists from those practices.
Thank you very much, Edward Muir.
Yes.
Edward Muir is a Regional Operations Manager at Waste Management Limited. Yes? Thank you so much, Mr. Muir.
Thank you for having me.
Good, good. Time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick. What I felt, and I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me. Like a rock, I was something to see. Like a rock.
Bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Give me yummy, bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Give me yummy, don't stop at just a one slice, please. No other bun, perfect for me. Yummy, for real Jamaican flavor and quality for sure. This Easter, make yummy the bun to your cheese. Yummy, give me yummy, yummy. Give me yummy for the Easter, yummy bun zeta, yummy for me family, yummy for me sir. Bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Yummy, bun to me cheese, bun to me cheese. Best bun, give me yummy. Talk about love.
For years, he has been the sole provider for the ladies. But then he found a good woman and feels like 100 million.
He's like I want 100 million.
Is it fair to say we should leave his business alone?
Chatty, chatty, Mount Amasi, mix up.
He was just that standout, outstanding voice from Altogether Sing. But he's moved mountains and miles away from those days. Well, he's been there before and now he's stronger. But does he know better? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic, who is a real Romain Virgo?
Why you not allow people business?
Find out.
Leave people business alone.
Just like that.
Leave people business alone.
Brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
The Olympic Games 2024 live from Paris in France, exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM.
The Jamaican star shines bright once again.
Live here halfway through in Olympic finals.
This summer, Nationwide 90 FM is coming in hot.
Jamaica to the Blacks!
Nationwide 90 FM will be blazing as we bring you the games of the 33rd Olympiad live from the French capital, Paris. 16 fantastic days of competition in 41 sports.
Noblin Williams-Mills coming, the glory flapping, her arms are waving, and Noblin Williams-Mills coming through for Jamaica's goal.
The station will bring you analysis and live coverage from the opening day of competition, Friday, July 26th to the very last day of action on Sunday, August 11th.
And some parchment, let's go! Oh, what a run!
Everything and anything Paris Olympic Games 2024 can be heard right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
It is a glittering goal for Sharika Jackson, and how they will celebrate that back in Jamaica.
We'll capture the spirit of athleticism. We'll narrate the Olympic fever, define thrilling moments, and report on the blood, sweat, and tears of the world's greatest athletes. Nationwide 90 FM is going to the Paris Olympic Games, and we're taking you with us. Tune into Nationwide 90.3, 90.5, 90.7 and 90.9 for live updates and commentary. We'll be giving the listeners a front row seat to witness excitement, triumph and memories.
And I think it was a clean sweep for the Jamaicans.
Stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM 24/7. Experience the Paris Olympic Games 2024 right here on the Revolution in Media Nationwide 90 FM, your Olympic Center. Exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM.
Nationwide 90 FM, the station for the very latest in news and current affairs, will broadcast live the national budget debate presentations from March 12 to 26. The presentations begin March 12 when the Minister of Finance and the Public Service, the Honorable Dr. Nigel Clark, puts forward the government's plans to finance the budget for 2024 to 2025. The opposition spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson, will make his presentation on March 14. The leader of the opposition, Mark Golding's contribution is on March 19. And the Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, will make his presentation on March 21. The Finance Minister closes the debate on March 26. That's the 2024-2025 budget debates live on Nationwide 90 FM. As a result of our live coverage of the 2024-2025 budget debate presentations, the E-Zone will not be aired on March 12, 14, 19, 21 and 26, and the Sound Off will be aired from 1 to 2 p.m. on these days.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock.
All right, welcome back, and we're going to just wrap it up now. We want to say thanks to our business development executive, Diana Buchanan, our producer, Norige Banton, our producer and studio, Michelle McCrae Smith, our broadcast engineer and location, Jermaine Compass. He was assisted by Sheldon Richards, and our technical operator in studio, David McNeesha, driver, Kimali Rowe, and our videographer, Nigel Austin. Yes, we've been here since 9 this morning, and we are now going to say our goodbyes. Thanks to the people who invited us here from the National Solid Waste Management Authority and, of course, the St. James Municipal Corporation. Thank you so much. We're going to make way now for Oasis with Loy Gale, and then it will be the entertainment block. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow morning at 10.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes.
You've just heard Cliff Hughes Online on Nationwide 90 FM. Join Cliff Monday to Thursdays between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. for Cliff Hughes Online.
Like a rock.
Welcome to Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink as we share the Pauline letters, as relevant to us now as they were to those to whom they were addressed in the Apostle Paul's day.
Hi, I'm Loy Gale. Thanks for joining me as we share another letter from the Apostle Paul. It could have been written yesterday. And now a personal but most urgent matter. I write in the gentle but